Hello and welcome to the LiveScore watch-along. We're all set for another massive night of European action. Here's the second leg of the second Champions League semi-final with Real Madrid hosting Manchester City. My name is Jack Collins and I will be your host for the evening. And joining me today in the studio, two men who are as excited about this matchup as I am. Welcome back to 𝗟𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃. It's a pleasure to have you back, my friend.
Great to be here. Hopefully the couch stays intact today.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, do you like the new decorations since the last time?
I feel like it's been custom made just for me. Extra steel.
Yeah, just a little bit of sturdiness. We're all
I'll give it a crack. Let's see.
And making his debut on this LiveScore watch-along, but only in the studio, is a man you'll see and recognise. It's our man, James Lorenzo. How you doing, mate?
James, I'm very good, thank you. Yes, promoted from my box popping role normally. I'm very happy to be here. Let's make no bones about it, though. I am a last resort. Like, that's what's happening. Anita was supposed to be in this chair today.
Yeah, the Queen of Bingo's dropped out.
Well, there's a Princess of Bingo here now. But I'm very pleased to be here nonetheless, Jack.
Okay, well, you're going to be in charge of the bingo card, which means that it's your job to run us through it.
Yes, shall we have a look at it?
Yeah.
So we're going to start with Pep sipping his water bottle. Now, apparently there's a big thing around Pep sipping his water bottle when something's gone wrong, i.e. when they've conceded or they haven't taken a chance they should have. I'm noting that sip is the verb here. You know, who knows what happens when he chugs it? Maybe that's when they're doing really well. I don't know. Foden showing his skills. Jesus looking dangerous. Benzema and Vinicius linking up. 𝗟𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗪𝗁 run and a great Courtois save. Now, when Neitz was in this position last night, she only needed a good 𝗠 save.
We very really didn't get one of those.
No, we didn't even get one of those, that's my point. And I'm expected to wait for a great Courtois save.
Courtois is a very, very good goalkeeper, though. Geronimo Rulli, as much as I love him, has his faults in a kind of goalkeeping sense, which is not really what you want from your goalkeeper, I've always thought.
No, nor from your bingo card.
No, but we'll see, James. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how we go. 𝗟𝗟𝗃𝗃𝗪𝗁 run is one that worries me. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that's come from, other than a desire for some alliteration on the bingo card. It is the powers that be.
We're going to have a look at the teams here quickly, but just before we do, before we go into it properly, just this matchup, when you look at the players on the pitch, it's just so incredibly exciting, and I think there's so much build-up this, and yesterday was amazing despite the fact that the build-up was actually, is this game already dead? There's been no such qualms here. This is just an incredible evening and two incredible sides.
It's like an elite battle, honestly. the best, even the bench. You got Sterling on the bench, you got Grealish on the bench. Far out, this is going to be something.
It's quite a special team. And look, we spoke about overthinking, James, in times before this. Pep hasn't overthought this, has he? It's just what you expect.
No, this is one of many A teams for him. There's no curveballs here, and he'll be delighted, particularly to have Walker back at right back, because I think had he started that first leg last week, we might be looking at a different situation right now. To be honest, we should be looking at a different situation right now. I watched back the highlights earlier, and this tie should have been done inside the first half hour.
Yeah, I think this is it. I mean, it was a brilliant game, but in terms of, City will be looking back at that first half. And look, you can't come out of a game where you beat Real Madrid and think that wasn't the result I was after. But equally, you can think maybe we should be a couple more goals to the good.
Yeah, but you know what? I think it could give Real Madrid a false insecurity and or a false security and be like, you know what, we can do this. If City really do what they can do best, I think there's no chance. But it's also City being City in the Champions League, and they could easily do what they always do. I feel like no one knows what's going to happen. It's all going to be down to, I don't know, the players on the pitch. That second half, I just can't wait.
It's one of those ones, and we'll come on to predictions in a little bit, but it does feel, we were talking about it just before we came on camera, and it's like, how does this play out? Because City could be 4-0 up at half time, and I don't think anyone will be shocked by that as a concept. But equally, if Real Madrid go through, no one will be shocked by that either. It's quite a strange position to be in. There doesn't feel like a scenario. Whereas last night, for example, if Villarreal had gone through, or even at half-time with the scoreline as it was, everyone was like, this was not in the script. There isn't really a script here. Anything could happen. I don't think anyone will be hugely surprised by it.
Yeah, I mean, the big fear is that this is the game that's got all the build-up this week, and it almost can't live up to it already.
We often see that in World Cups. The big games in the group of deaths are often the most boring or lackluster. But I just don't think Man City or Real Madrid have it in them this season. After everything we've seen, they can't do lackluster. They can't do mediocre. They can't do underwhelming.
But I think if you're a City fan, that's what you want from your side tonight. I think if they played this game the same way they did last week, they're going to get Benzema'd in so many words.
Yeah, that's
great.
great.
Like they want to play.
It's a verb now.
Is a verb now. Yeah, it's a verb now. We'll roll with it. If they play like they did against Atletico in the second leg and just shut this game down and don't play the occasion or the crowd whatsoever, I think that's their best route to the final here.
Yeah, I mean, this is it. I think City will come out quick. I don't think the City are going to try and not. I think they're going to try and land a knockout blow. City get a 2-goal advantage at any point in this game. They've got a 3-goal advantage in their tie. We'll speak about Real Madrid's ability to come from behind and all of the above, but it does feel a little bit like, you know, the City have the power to steam almost anyone. This isn't, and it's not Real Madrid, and you know, these are the kings of Europe, as their fans will tell you, and have told us on numerous occasions. You can't write them off in this competition. I think you can if they go 3 goals down. Yeah. Like that's the, you know, there are levels to how far, not nostalgia, but legend and pedigree can take you, because ultimately there are also two teams playing a football game, and one of them is on paper superior to the other.
Yeah, and this is the kind of scenario where you do have just to revert to the paper. It's very easy to get caught up in the intangibles of pedigree and history and all the rest, but you're absolutely right. On paper, City should go through tonight.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. If they're going to go through, the man who you'd imagine is going to be at the heart and soul of that is Kevin De Bruyne. Here's Dean Jones with a little bit more on City's superstar in the middle.
And you can't write scripts better than that. I'm told it was a minute.
Kevin De Bruyne has only finished in the top 10 of the Ballon d'Or vote twice in his career. But when Manchester City need a hero, the Belgian usually comes up trumps. The 30-year-old has scored 12 Champions League goals for the citizens, with 9 of those coming in the knockout rounds, the most recent setting City on their way to a 4-3 win over Real Madrid. No one with at least 10 goals in the competition has scored a higher percentage in the knockout rounds. Earlier this season, Pep Guardiola described the former Chelsea schemer as unique in the world, and with good reason. Only Kylian Mbappé has recorded more Champions League assists than De Bruyne over the last 5 seasons, while De Bruyne is in the top 10 for shots assisted too. Quite simply, he is the beating heart of a City side which has dominated domestically since his £55 million switch from Wolfsburg in 2015, winning half the trophies on offer in that time. Yet the Champions League remains elusive for City. De Bruyne did his bit, scoring the fastest semi-final goal ever after just 93 seconds.
And De Bruyne has been playing so well recently and scoring so many big goals. Gets another one.
De Bruyne is City's leader for assists and chances created in this year's competition, operating to devastating effect in the half space between the fullback and centre-half. While you might think of De Bruyne as City's creator-in-chief, he is also the master of the third-man run, using teammates as a decoy, something he did for goals against Leeds and Leicester. Creator, leader and scorer, De Bruyne does it all. If City are to end their wait for an elusive first continental crown, King Kevin holds the keys to their coronation.
It's a really interesting thing, how much Kevin De Bruyne has become, well, not only a leader in this side, but also the fact that he has kind of become the man who steps up in the big occasion for City. You know, what we've seen from De Bruyne was a player who loved controlling, who was a beautiful creator and broke the assist record in the Premier League and all of those things. But actually this season, he's stepped up and scored a lot of the times when City have needed it. And he's kind of become, you know, that kind of shining light of, you know, I'll take it. I want all the smoke, basically. He's like, I want it. Bring it to me.
Well, we even saw it with his contract extension. He did it without his agent. I'm not sure if he had issues with the agent or what was going on, but I remember it got revealed that De Bruyne controlled all the negotiations himself and just sat with City, and I think kind of shows the person that he is. He's a leader. He takes control of things when he needs to, and he's just comes forward so far since his time at Wolfsburg. The fact that Chelsea let him go, it still blows my mind.
Yeah, every time Neitz comes in, she's just like, I really hate watching.
Yeah. I mean, look at those stats that we put up there. You know, 82% passing accuracy, plenty of chances created in the Premier League this season. This is a guy who probably still doesn't get enough respect because he doesn't do anything funny with his hair. He's got quite a standard haircut, right? And he doesn't come out and he's not outspoken in interviews or whatnot. I'm just saying, if you give Kevin De Bruyne Paul Pogba's hair, He's a legend of the game, even more so.
Mate, I'm not sure where we're going there. I'm going to drop it out. I think Kevin
what I'm here
his
for.
haircut is fine. I'll be honest.
Exactly, that's my point.
Yeah, I
It's
get what you're
only
saying.
fun.
I think it might be his just quite understated manner, mate, as opposed to his haircut.
But this is where overstated manners take you a lot further, marketing-wise.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm not doubting that he's a great footballer. Of course he is.
Thank
Of course
you,
he is.
thank you. That's all we needed to do. I mean, look, the Real Madrid crowd coming up this, and in a little bit, I'm going to ask you about the Real Madrid crowd and in the Champions League, and especially on these kind of nights before.
Yeah.
I know you've been and experienced these kind of things with Real Madrid fans in stadiums, etc., etc. But before we do so, let's talk a little bit about them coming from behind. And James, you have a little bit of experience with this.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I mean when I said that I was a last resort. I wasn't meant to be in this sofa linking to me. But anyway, here I am.
Well,
So, on the surface of things, Manchester City with a 4-3 aggregate lead should be favourites tonight, but Real Madrid have shown already this season that they can't and mustn't be written off. Let's not forget, it was only in the round of 16 that PSG took a 1-goal lead to the Bernabeu, where they actually doubled it before a late 𝗟𝗏 𝗪𝗁 hat-trick saw the home side progress. There's been a lot of chat about Real's European pedigree, but they've also carved out a bit of a niche as comeback specialists this season. They've spent a total of 490 minutes in losing positions in La Liga this campaign. For context, that's more time than Liverpool and Manchester City have spent losing combined. And yet Real have wrapped up their domestic title with 81 points already. Don't forget, City are on 83 and Liverpool 82 after the same number of league games. Put simply, this is a Real Madrid team that can scrap. They are no strangers to coming from behind, particularly at home, and Manchester City will have to be very wary of that threat.
James, what do you make of that?
Yeah, well, I could have brushed my hair a bit more and the shirt was a bit creased, but other than that, I think it's one of my better VTs.
Well, I'd agree with you. I mean, talking of comebacks, the one that springs to mind is the Sevilla game, right? 2-0 down at half-time, go and win that game 3-2. In a game where, the title wasn't on the line. I think there would be an overextension of it to say that. But there were questions about Madrid wobbling. They just obviously lost in the Clásico 4-0 to Barcelona. Barca were on the charge. And suddenly it looked like Real Madrid were going to lose this game to Sevilla. And then they come back out and turn the entire thing around. And it all looks so calm as well. Yeah. It's not frantic. It's not rushed. It's just Real Madrid doing what Real Madrid do.
Yeah, exactly. But, Real Madrid, they're known for dominating games, and I feel like this year they haven't exactly dominated games. They've done what they just need to do to get by, whether it's against PSG or Chelsea, Sevilla. There have been a few other games in the league where you just go in, there's no way they're winning this. Or not even losing, perhaps it's a 0-0 and they get that goal they need late on. There's just something about this team. It's like they're not the classical kind of giants this year. They're just like we know what we need to do. It's spoken about so often about how old the team is. Well, maybe with that age comes experience with you guys like Kroos and Modric and Benzema. And they're like, listen, don't worry, we got this, we know our skills. It's just unbelievable. That's why I feel like, despite the fact that City, on paper, probably should be the favourites, you just can't predict what these guys what Real Madrid are able to do. It's fascinating.
Latifah there reads another magic night for the kings of Europe. And that's what it is, isn't it? These things are, another one. Okay.
Yeah. They take it in their stride these nights, and this is where City, for all their talent on the pitch, they don't have these nights or as many of these nights or these experiences to draw on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should we do some predictions? Because it's impossible to predict, isn't it? But let's start off. El, why don't you kick us off?
I've gone for 2-0. I think that's only going to happen if Madrid score first. I think if City score first this time.
If City score first,
yes,
it won't happen.
Yeah. But basically, what I was trying to say was, I think if Real Madrid win, they're winning this in 90 minutes. So I think I'm going for 2-0.
Okay. All right.
Not confident though.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Right, Jay?
No, it's certainly not confident in any possible prediction. I've gone 3-1 Real Madrid. I see this going to extra time, Real Madrid getting the third, like they did against Chelsea.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, on paper I shouldn't, but
you feel like
it just feels right.
I went 2-2, which would see Man City through.
I can see that.
But I've actually kind of come away from this. Part of my thinking around this is actually if it's tight, I think Real Madrid might edge it because these are the games, as you say, they're built for. I actually have a funny feeling. If I was to redo this prediction right now, I'd go 4-1 City, which is, I think City might come out of the traps here and explode into life.
Yep.
And if that happens, I think it's going to be very difficult for Real Madrid to kind of control this. We saw, obviously, Real Madrid take advantage of that makeshift back line last week, and the fact that obviously John Stones hobbled off and Fernandinho was playing at right back, and Vinicius, well, retired him, as Dean would say. Very, very disrespectful to his elder, to his countrymen. But yeah, it's an interesting one. We are about to get underway here. Soon we'll see how this is going to play out. But we are away in Madrid for. Is this the most hyped? I mean, obviously the semi-finals always get hyped, but
Yeah.
this second leg, considering how good the first one was.
I think it's because of what happened in the first one.
Yeah, I've not seen a game of this kind of hype level for a little while.
I mean,
No.
yeah.
I think it's in part because last night wasn't supposed to be as good as it was, and everyone was putting their eggs in this basket,
Yeah.
right? I mean, we saw a ticker go by earlier that said Real Madrid have lost all 5 of their knockout ties in which they've been behind after the first leg. To flip that on its head, City have won 9 out of 10 ties in which they've been ahead.
Yeah.
So this should be there should only be one answer to this game.
But there should have been one answer to this game from the very start.
Well,
right?
yeah.
Like for Wisdom play. Look at this is it. Vinicius has won a free
Already.
kick deep in the opposition half straight away, and all he's doing is whipping the crowd.
Yeah.
This is what it's going to
Did
be.
you see the scenes before
I
kickoff
did.
as they
They're
arrived?
trying to play
as well?
the occasion, aren't they?
Yeah.
Which is
Well, Madrid have to play the occasion, and City have
Yeah.
to not play the occasions. James said something similar earlier, but Madrid need to whip this crowd into a frenzy. And I was listening to the Spanish football podcast a couple of weeks ago, and they were talking about a game where Real Madrid came from behind to beat Real Sociedad, and they won the game 4-1. They went 1-0 down, and Sid and Phil were talking about the fact that sometimes it feels like the Bernabeu doesn't wake up until they feel like they're needed.
Yeah.
And I thought it was an interesting concept because it feels, because they're behind already, and it's similar against PSG.
For the 90 minutes. It's
It
got
feels like
something,
they're already
yeah.
there, they're already in the mindset.
Yeah,
You know?
it's a
And
good point.
obviously their competition times it by 10. Like
Yeah.
you know, all of these things given a magnitude. But it is really kind of intriguing to see how there are some games where it's just like, we'll just win this, won't we? We're Real Madrid.
Yeah.
And this is a game where that security is not in place, and that makes the crowd and the scenes we saw beforehand even more intriguing.
Yeah.
Militao had a torrid time in the first leg.
Where did Madrid get Militao from?
They bought him Porto.
Of course, yeah. Like most of half the squad these days.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a Porto fan yourself, aren't you? Is that what you said?
My girlfriend's Portuguese, so her family are from Porto. So
Boa Vista is your team?
Well, they are actually on the Avenida Boa Vista.
No way.
So, yeah, the Bessa is the ground I've been to for the most.
Okay, really? So you've seen the Black Panthers live?
Indeed. The checkerboard men.
Yeah, I love it. One of the best kits. One of the
It is. Oh, we took a look at this at first, and actually we can come on to this City kit because it's very odd.
What is?
It's the writing across it as opposed to the badge.
Yeah,
that I
but
think
lots of
annoyed
teams
a
at
lot of
Dortmund have
people.
got that as well, haven't they?
Yeah,
this
it was
season?
basically the Puma third kits this year.
Yeah.
But there is something about, when you see a kit and it's kind of, Madrid have it, right? The all white, as much as other teams play in all white, the all white belongs to Real Madrid. And I think there are some kits that you go and you look at, and Boa Vista's checkers is one of them, but equally there aren't many that wear, Norwich is a yellow and green. I mean, you can go Nantes perhaps, but they're quite unique kits. Whenever I see a purple shirt, it's immediately Fiorentina. And I think it's intriguing. Now, obviously, that's not the only people that have ever worn purple. I'm sure there's an Anderlecht fan watching who's furious. But that's the vibe you get sometimes, and it's a.
They definitely do.
This is a Modric Maisie run, isn't it?
Nice.
It wasn't Maisie.
Was that
Is it not Maisie?
He didn't he just went in a straight line.
I watched last night's Watchalong and you were waving everything through in the final 10 minutes.
Yeah, but it's not the final 10 minutes, James. If that had happened with 3 minutes to go, I'm giving you that.
I'm here in a meeting's place and I want to be the first one.
Here we
to
go,
complete the board.
Benzema already.
Oh.
That's a huge chance. I feel like Benzema can only take half chances. He doesn't take the easy
Yeah,
chances.
yeah.
Remember the game against Chelsea? Was it Chelsea who made the huge miss?
Yeah.
Oh, how's he missed that? At least put it on target, Karim.
Yeah.
Not that I can give him any slack.
It's Benzema. He's entitled to a couple of misses. But that's the thing, he's got a lot of space.
Huge opportunity to get going. I don't know if I'm...
It's a real strange one. Also, like that early goal for Real Madrid, the old cat and pigeons and the rest of it. Spanner works.
Yep.
There's
here we go
KDB.
Has Jesus been starting recently for Man City?
Yeah, he basically played in that Watford
Oh,
game.
he's
Bernardo-
so good. He's so good. Bernardo is so good. He's almost Messi-esque with like his.
That's the thing with Bernardo. He has kind of two. He has two. Oh, it is a handball. There are two things there in that. One of them is he is occasionally, and I remember when he was playing wide, especially for City early on, there were elements where he'd get the ball and you'd be like, how is this playing out? Like how is Bernardo turned into prime Messi? Watching it at Wembley in those finals, and he was just outrageously good. And then you look at something like you look at something like a game against Liverpool, and he's that kind of terrier figure in the middle. Yep. He's got both things. There's not a team in the world that would not be improved by having Bernardo Silva in the side. So I think it's going to be an interesting one. What's going down here?
I'm still seething that you haven't allowed through '𝗟𝗃𝗪𝗵𝗹 run, given that was the one you were worried about.
It wasn't amazing. 2 versus 1. This is a democracy at LiveScore.
Yeah, I think. But it's the powers that be, isn't it?
Yeah, the powers that be have allowed
the so-called
Oh,
powers
true,
that
it is
be.
the
Yeah.
The only thing that I can say at this very moment.
What are the powers that be saying?
We have to get a late look. in
VAR?
a minute.
Oof. Yeah, so you're saying Jesus has been starting lately?
Yeah.
Sterling is that why Sterling? There's rumours that Sterling wants out.
Well, there was basically like a weird period where Sterling kind of was not playing, and then after the January transfer window, because they were saying he was going to go to Barcelona at that point, you remember? Then there was this kind of period where he didn't play, he played loads in the next game and got right back at it. So yeah, it's really interesting.
Can you? Because obviously there were rumours recently that Arsenal were looking at Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, it's either
I
one.
still think Jesus probably will leave.
Do you think he will?
Yeah.
Regardless of whether he starts or not. When did that? Oh, how did we miss that one?
I think it would depend.
Oh.
If this Haaland deal goes through, I think he might just decide that enough's enough. So we'll see.
I could see Sterling coming back to London playing for Arsenal.
It is an interesting one. There was last summer. There was real links, but they couldn't forward. So I think it might have changed that. So yeah, there's lots going on. Oof. But Raheem Sterling returning to London would be quite the story. The boy from Brent returning to the capital.
Maybe. Hey, Brentford.
Is it only Arsenal for him? Do you reckon there's anyone else that you
might
might
come
come
back
back
to?
Well, he grew up a United fan, didn't he? But I don't see him going there.
But in London, I mean.
I don't think, having played for Liverpool and City, I feel like the last place he could ever go is United.
But I think he's feeling really well at Arsenal, actually.
What's happened here?
Well, I think it all comes from that tackle by Casemiro. This is big.
I don't think there's any contact with his face, though. That was all quite weird.
There never is there?
It's strange as well that both sides would be acting like this, with both of them having such a chance to go to the final.
Yeah,
to act like this and not remember.
But is that the atmosphere?
Yeah.
Is it whipped
with
into a frenzy already?
Surely you'd be telling everyone before the game, guys,
calm down.
Let's not do a John Terry and miss out on our big night. Next up.
Both of them booked straight away.
But that's the kind of
Modric first was. Who slapped him as he went down? Is that Laporte?
Yeah, he's sort of falling.
That is the kind of interlude, just tapping into a conversation we had earlier, that keeps the crowd going. If you haven't threatened early, the atmosphere can dissipate quite quickly.
Yeah.
But that, a bit of
a little bit of handbags.
Yeah.
Or a big tackle.
Yes.
People love a big tackle, don't they?
And it gets the atmosphere going again.
Casemiro's tackle was certainly a big tackle.
Yeah. Refs just headbutted Kyle Walker. By accident, we should add.
It's all too much fake news here.
It's all gone mad.
So what's the situation with the Bernabeu? They've obviously got tarp over almost the entire.
But I was going to say this to you because obviously that's where that all white section used to sit behind the goal, right? The kind of I'm not sure if that was the ultra section itself or if
behind the goals it was ultra sur. But it's funny because I obviously know that they're renovating the Bernabeu, but I don't think they're renovating the.
Is it that they're doing work over the roofs and that might be the drop zone?
That would actually make a lot of sense.
I was we spoke to Alan Feely, who's the editor of Football España.
Yeah.
I met Alan in Seville a few weeks ago.
Did you?
Yeah.
And he was saying that
writer.
Yeah.
he was big team Real Madrid for this tie, but as part of that, he was
He's
saying...
the Football España editor, of course he was team Real Madrid.
No, but you know, you're an editor, you're a journalist at the end of the day, you're still supposed to take an objective view, and I think he was. And as I say, he was big on Real Madrid for this game, and he was saying that the way, you know, like we've said already tonight, it's obviously all about the occasion for Real Madrid and getting the fans whipped up, but the way that the Bernabeu is currently stripped back, when we get another wide shot, you'll see how it's, you know, it's all stripped. There's no roof. You can just see straight out into the sky. It's very 1970s, you know, and that kind of aspect. It all just taps into the kind of atmosphere that they want to generate here. And again,
Okay,
you know,
that's really interesting.
they've got a 1970s looking stadium, and where were Real Madrid in the 70s? Where was City? You know, that's the kind of history they're going to lean into at the moment.
When do you know when the stadium's meant to be completed? The renovations.
I think it'll be ready to go end of next season.
Did you hear about Barcelona?
Are they going to have to leave it again?
No. I think that
They're leaving bits finished.
I think they're leaving bits finished. More fascinating is Barcelona. Have you heard about where they're meant to be going while they renovate the Camp Nou?
Oh yeah, the Olympic Stadium.
The Olympic Stadium where Espanyol used to play.
Yeah.
And it was, I tell you what, you're far from the pitch in that one. Watching that is like watching old school Syria football.
But it's a great complex up there. I love it. Like the whole Olympic Park. Yeah.
Is it amazing? Is it?
Yeah, and it's also, you know, still close enough into the city. It might even be, you know, more accessible than the Camp Nou from the city centre.
Yeah, because you have to get a train, do you? You have to get the train.
No, yeah, you can walk out. It's a lovely walk up into the park, and you've got views over the city. I love it up there.
What were you doing up there? You went to saw Espanyol or?
No. It's just there for a laugh, Ellie.
Walking about.
Yeah, got lost.
You
having a little stroll.
You were doing scouting for Barcelona, where they moved to.
I'm actually head of stadium development at Barcelona.
He actually works with Spotify.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Whipped in, but second chance for Benzema.
Yeah.
Again, you'd expect him to at least put that on target.
Fede Valverde has absolutely fired that.
Sure.
It's so hard. But interesting that Valverde is back in his wing position, because obviously
Put that away.
after what happened in the last leg, and they started with Rodrigo in City. So, you know, Valverde dropping back into that kind of midfield role, and Casemiro didn't play. So yeah, it's one of those kind of things where they've obviously seen that worked against Chelsea to such an extent.
Yep.
And obviously given themselves, considering Cancelo's back on that side, they're going, right, we might need a little bit more tracking on this side, Fede Valverde, and into that right-hand role immediately. And interesting to see how he's been touted as the kind of heir to the midfield throne for so long. It's nice to see him getting a run out, at the very least. I like Fede Valverde a lot.
I've heard his name for so long now. Yeah, you're right. It's good to see him finally get that chance. If he can put a few more balls in to Benzema like that, surely it's only a matter of time before Madrid take the lead.
I think it's one of those where, like, you're probably not expecting him to be the creative force, right? Which does tend to give him actually a little bit more space and time to create.
Yep.
It's a bit what Atleti did for years with Marcus Llorente in that kind of position, right? And kind of getting him into those roles and be like, oh, everyone's like, well, that's Marcus Llorente. I'm pretty sure he's a defensive midfielder. Mm-hmm. And then suddenly he's scored a hat-trick. Yeah. And you're like, oh. What? So maybe it's a decoy play, but I think it's probably more to help going backwards with Cancelo getting in at that end. So we shall see.
Man City haven't had the explosive start
I was thinking about. No.
They've really kind of, I wouldn't say sat back, but it's definitely Madrid with the kind of initiative to go forward. Yeah,
a couple of moments, but nothing major.
I'm getting a little bit of itchy feet on the bingo, lads. I'm not going to lie.
Well, I mean, I've been told by the powers that be that you are in charge and what you say goes.
Oh, okay.
I had also been told that, and that was why I was bringing it back to the bingo. I'm going to retrospectively...
No, hold on. Let me. Can I have a look at the bingo again?
Yeah, there we go. I'm going to say 𝗟𝗄𝗃 run was probably looking like one of the more difficult tiles on our 6-tile board.
You really think so, Modric? With them, I think he's got a few in him.
Yeah, but often he just knocked the ball on, which is why he's so good. He doesn't keep the ball very much.
Courtois save.
Two-touch Modric is the best Modric.
Has Jesus looked dangerous yet?
No. I don't think Man City have looked dangerous, never mind anyone in particular.
We're not close on any of the others. I'm going to say right now, as we approach the 15-minute mark, that 𝗟𝗄𝗃 run has occurred.
But don't you feel like you want to earn the bingo? You want to earn that bingo?
Eddie, I've sat through every watch-along this season, and we haven't come close. We have come close, but...
We came close.
We came close.
That infamous one.
But crucially, we're not over the line.
Broken couch on there.
We've never fulfilled the bingo card, so James is excited about being the man to do it. He's given the opportunity to step in for one night. He wants to shine on the big stage.
Ooh, De Bruyne shot.
No, De Bruyne there.
I appreciate your desire to grab
It shouldn't
your
be just,
chance.
it should be our desire, Jack.
You want to grab your opportunity, James.
But I'm not a win at all costs. I like to win stylishly. I think Modric
You haven't
score
sat
more.
through the amount of watch-along hours.
There is no style in bingo. It's all or nothing.
The problem with tonight's bingo is that there's only 2 rows. So
Yeah.
Same as last night, we still didn't make it.
Yeah,
didn't make it.
We didn't get anywhere. We didn't even get close.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look at it.
Okay, all right, let's have a look at it, shall we?
Vinicius, if he can link up here with Benzema, we've got our first one. Link up with...
That's all of the bingo cards. There we are.
Oh,
That's
it's
where
been
we are
decided.
right now.
Right.
Confirmed.
I thought
One
we finished
tick.
it. It was real vibes.
If it was up
15
to
minutes
me-
in and we finished the
If it was
bingo.
up to me, I'd rule the roost. 15 minutes in, pop the party poppers. We can all go home.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, 1 tick confirmed. Maisie Modric run. There it is. In
Okay.
black and white.
All right. We'll give it to you. You are.
As the
you are in
powers that
charge.
be have already said, Jack, it doesn't matter whether you give it to me. I've given it to us.
Okay.
Okay, mate. It sounds like it's going to get very confusing if we tell you who's giving what. No one's giving each other much to think about here. Would be my.
Benzema's had his look-ins, and I think what we neglect to remember is that Benzema needs less of a look-in than most strikers, right? So half chances for most strikers need only be quarter chances for Benzema, if that logic holds up.
I feel like he almost needs a quarter chance. He can't deal with the full chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you look at what he's achieved this season. He's slightly outscoring his XG, but as you say, considering the type of goals he's been scoring, it's not a, if someone just scores what they're supposed to score, they're usually at those kind of levels as well.
Yep.
But that's not what Benzema is. He's I will score the really difficult chances, and the easy ones occasionally go by the wayside.
Yeah.
But he has become such a good finisher over there, and that was something he was criticised for, like the composure levels of his game. Years back, people used to say, Benzema's wonderful and he's a brilliant player, but you go through one-on-one, you're not necessarily backing him to score every time. Now you are.
Yeah.
Now you are. Karim Benzema goes through one-on-one, you're backing yourself. And you look at how prolific he's been in this season compared to some of his other, Champions League seasons. It's been 10 years since he got even half of these numbers.
Yeah.
It's been truly quite remarkable.
Do you go in for the stepping out of the Ronaldo shadow kind of mystique, or is that just a bit of a reach?
I think it's probably a wee bit of a reach, but I think there is something to be said that he's been given the keys to the castle and this is his reward. Right? He never really got that before Cristiano moved on, and that's because when you have a player of Cristiano's caliber, you're obviously going to build a team. You're going to hardwire a team around him, and especially because Benzema was so selfish. But you look at what he's done, in the time since, and you do wonder, if he'd been given the keys all the way through.
Speaking of which, Benzema, Vinicius in the box.
Is he given the keys all the way through? Does he produce these numbers consistently throughout his time at Real Madrid? And if he does so, is he up there with those numbers that we're talking about for Cristiano and for Leo Messi?
Well, yeah.
That's actually a good point, isn't it?
I think this gets disallowed for a high foot, even if it does go in. It was a wee bit. But it's quite a loopy
foot, you
strike
think so?
from. No, not the one from Valverde beforehand. Vinicius has had a similar kind of thing this year, though, right? And questions to what Benzema's composure was like. There were real questions about Vinicius's,
wasn't there?
And then suddenly he has turned into a production machine.
It's unbelievable, his rise. Because I think, was it last season when Benzema was caught on camera saying, "I swear on my mother, he's playing against us."
Yeah.
To Ferland Mendy as well. He must have been like, what?
But
I don't think he is, Karim. Like, shush.
Yeah.
Look, there are Vinicius stats, and he's got 9 assists there. Benzema just before had 11, we saw in the graphic. And I wonder how many of those are to each other, because that partnership has just been brilliant to watch this season.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, so good that you put them on the bingo card.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But yeah.
I'm not worried about that one. See, I'm not going to force that one through, because that's a gimme, surely.
You'd
some
expect
link-up
that at
play.
some point one of Benzema or Vinicius is going to create a
They'll
chance
complete
for
a
the other.
pass to one another, and that will be that.
Yeah, it depends if it's that last 8 minutes or not. It's like they pass to each other on the halfway line. You're like, that's a link up.
Yeah.
That is a link up.
I'm really interested in this Pep sipping water one, right? The idea that he's got this kind
this
of
was
tick.
Stephen,
problem is
right,
we don't
our
know
resident
if he-
City fan who
Okay.
brought this to our attention. He says, anytime something goes wrong,
He has a sip.
Pep takes a sip of his water. So it's whether they've conceded, someone misses a
But
big
will
chance.
we see? Will the camera show it? That's the thing.
Bernardo.
Oh, that's a brilliant
great
save.
That is a great save.
That's a great save.
Great
Great
Courtois
one,
save.
though.
Tick it off.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's
That's
caught that beautifully.
That is a good
Really
save
good
as well.
strike
First proper opening of the game.
for City.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, it's quite interesting to see. You know, we obviously saw that thing about KDB that Dean put in the first bit, the VO and the what's it called? What are they called?
The VT.
VT.
He
that's
did a
what I'm
VO
looking
on the
for.
VT.
VO on the VT. That's
Yeah.
it. There's my moment for you. Where we was talking about KDB making third round runs, but Bernardo's incredibly
he's
good
done
at
what-
them as well. So what's he given here?
Nah, got kicked.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. It was a deflection as
Yeah,
well,
it's
you know.
deflected as well.
Right, let's
Fuck,
take the
that
old
is some
bingo.
save.
Let's take the bingo update. Let's see where we are.
Just confirming that.
There we go.
2 out of 3 for Real Madrid, and like I say, that
we're close
third
to a
one,
line.
Yeah, that should be fairly straightforward. That Benzema Vinicius linking up, as we said, sipping the water bottle. I'd love to get a shot of it. Otherwise, we're not going to know.
Yeah, unless you tweet us.
Yes.
If you tweet us using the hashtag LiveScore Watchalong.
If you're in the Bernabeu, please.
You can let us know
Yeah.
if Pep drinks from his water. I bet you he does at some point drink from a water bottle across the
But
course
it's
of it.
sipping, Jack. Crucially, it's sipping.
Yeah,
the
it has.
water.
It's a specific.
So we can't
type
glug?
of- Yeah,
Can't glug.
no glugging.
No sculling. Did you say sculling in England?
No, but I do enjoy the term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sculling is rowing, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you call it? In Australia, we say sculling just when like you just down it
Necking.
in one. Necking.
Neck
Yeah.
pint. See
Neck
it
a
off.
pint.
See it
Yeah.
off, yeah.
See it off.
See it
I haven't
off.
heard that one.
Yeah, see it
Really?
off.
I'm gonna see off this pint.
Yeah.
That's what you say. Yeah, this is why I love being on LiveScore. You learn.
You learn,
You learn so much
every
more than
day's a
football.
school day.
Yeah, every day's a school day. Oh, Pep's getting
He's not
angry.
happy. Where's the water?
Might
Where's the
dehydra-
water?
Might dehydrate himself. He's screaming.
Right. Yeah,
Look, look what I mean about the stadium there.
Yeah,
It's completely exposed.
Yeah.
If you're at the top there, it completely exposed to the elements. And Alan was convinced that would make a difference to the atmosphere.
What, in a negative or a positive?
No, positive way. He was saying that it now becomes a bit of an old school stadium just temporarily while they put a new roof on it, and that might invoke the history of Real Madrid versus the lack thereof of City, at least in the Champions League.
I love the narrative, but that feels like a wee stretch.
Are you questioning Alan?
Oh, never. I
It's
bow
the
to a
football
power.
of Spain, yeah.
I bow to a power far superior to my own. But and none of these players were here in the 70s. And imagine quite a lot of the fans probably. Oh, actually no. Famously, the people at the Bernabeu are actually quite old, aren't they? Oh, is that Jesus looking dangerous?
I think he couldn't look much more dangerous than that
Yeah,
without
that looked pretty
scoring.
dangerous to
So
me.
I don't know why I just called him Jesus. It's definitely Jesus. Like,
Jesus.
You're talking about something else, yeah. Oh my word! It is just the bend on that.
That's not bad. That's not far away.
yeah, I mean,
Oscar-esque against Juve.
Yeah, with that turn is the best turn I think
Yeah.
ever. I mean, look, El, you were asking about 𝗟𝗶 Jesus' form of late. We can put up his shot map from since April the 10th, so the last month. It's pretty good going. Although 4 of these goals were against Watford, he scored 7 in that time. But he really has been the penalty box poacher, and that perhaps City were slightly missing. Like we spoke about that number 9, problem in inverted commas, and the fact that there's all these links to Erling Haaland and all of the above. But Jesus has really stepped up. That link to Arsenal's really scared him, obviously. Because I know, not going there.
Dean would not let this go last week.
Yeah,
about
Dean
Jesus.
loved it. Dean was convinced that the only reason 𝗟𝗶 Jesus has started to play a form is because he just doesn't want to go to Arsenal.
I think that is more of a reach than the idea that the stadium not having a roof grants Real Madrid some positive energy.
I think they're similar vibes, if I'm honest.
I think the thing about Jesus is how long has he been at Man City now? 5 years, 4 years? They paid quite a lot for him at the age he was. He was always one for the long term. Anyway.
Well, there was the two Gabbies, wasn't there? So there was 𝗟𝗵𝗃𝗲.
Yeah.
Gabriel
He's now back at
Barbosa.
Flamengo, isn't
He is back at Flamengo, yeah.
And 𝗟𝗵 Jesus.
And then there was 𝗟𝗵 Jesus. They were the two Gabbies that
Yeah.
everyone was talking about in Brazil.
But he's always kind of been behind the shadow of Aguero.
Yeah,
And
well,
now-
did you hear his interview recently?
No.
He spoke, and it was after he scored 4 goals against Watford. And they were like, oh, you know, it must be amazing to be playing the number 9. He was like, yeah, well, I'm never going to be Sergio. You're like, no. You just scored 4 times, man. Back yourself.
Yeah,
Like, it's all good.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, talk about stepping out of shadows for Real Madrid, but that was quite a shadow cast by Aguero, wasn't it?
Oh, huge.
And he's not had his Benzema-esque
He's
stepping into
he's
it.
also not had a consistent run of games as a number 9. Like, this is really the first, what is this, 3-4 games in a row we've seen him start at 9 for City. This is, you know, the kind of run that we expected to have at the start of this season. And instead, we saw Pep revert to type and go to a false 9 and play Foden there and play, you know, De Bruyne there at times. There was lots of things to look at, but one of the things that was not giving 𝗟𝗵 Jesus a run of games. And I think maybe now that he's showing us what we can do, it's a really kind of interesting development. Just as it looked like they were about to, you know, go all in for Erling Haaland. And I mean, look, there's plenty of narrative surrounding the Erling Haaland thing as well, given that his dad played for City and he was a City fan growing up and all of those things, which is fun. But again, where's it leave 𝗟𝗵? Back in
conclusion,
back on the bench.
it leaves him completing the 3rd tile of our bingo card, I think.
Okay, yeah, all right. Well, I mean, it's been a tough couple of weeks. Well, it's been a good couple of weeks, but equally, you'd imagine quite tough. So, we'll give 𝗟𝗵 a bingo card.
Big old tick.
Vinny's gone down just outside the box. They've given that, have they?
They have given
They have,
it. It
yeah.
did look a bit soft.
Yeah. Who's lining up to take it? Who does take their free kicks? Tony?
Kroos.
Okay. There's Edison.
Robbie Williams' finest fan.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Kroos.
How old's he now?
31.
And when's
Really
his
older?
contract?
I thought, 33, 34.
Right,
Yeah, he's definitely older.
I'm
I
not
don't know
very
if the
good at
powers that be
ages.
could confirm it.
I'm not very good at ages. They never seem to agree with me.
Do you think?
He has been around for a while.
I think that's like a deflection for sure. The way the ball moved. Yep, corner. And look how Real Madrid have run into the corner to take it. They're not wasting any time. Oh.
It doesn't look like it takes deflection from that angle, but it definitely did from the first one.
Yeah.
I bet Tony Kroos 32.
32.
So somewhere in the middle, in the Netherlands between So let's take this bingo update. Just the corner is about to be taken. There's 3 down after 26 minutes. James, good
down.
start.
We are ahead of the run rate at
be
the moment
first.
officially.
Yeah, ahead of the
I
run
can
rate,
relax
okay.
now until half time.
You don't have to even watch. This is all the fun. Al, I'm going to wait till this corner is taken. Then we should discuss your recent travels because you've been all over the place. Unless I say that, they're going to score, aren't they? That's how things work.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, we have a question for you, Al. Actually,
Okay.
Face Jack wants to know what team you support.
Football / soccer. I love that. He's trying to be culturally sensitive as I'm from Australia. I don't support a team, as I famously said before. I mean, I love the Socceroos when the World Cup and the Asian Cup comes around, being from Australia, but the complicated nature of the way I got into football at an older age than most of you, didn't grow up with it through the family. They were big AFL fans, Australian football, Aussie rules, and then never really understood the concept of supporting a club that I didn't have a connection to. Did a gap year here in Shepherd's Bush, so I was a QPR fan, but I was kidding myself when I finally moved here properly. So I've never really had I can't really say I have a team. I've got like a soft spot for many clubs, from Everton to Betis, but I just don't have a team. That's the reality of my job and my life and the way I got into footy. I'm more fascinated. My team is the fans, as much of as corny as that sounds. It's how I got my job, and it's what I love most about the game. So I don't have a team, sadly, to tell you about, but when the World Cup comes around, the soccer is all I care about.
Yeah.
Hope that helps.
Matildas.
Matilda. Oh, don't get me started on how much I love the Matildas at the moment. Sam Kerr is the greatest thing to come out of Australia since Tim Cahill.
Or Tim Tams.
What's that?
Tim Tams.
Oh, Tim Tam. Yeah, that's the golden three. Yeah. So soccer
That's
is
the Holy
Matildas.
Trinity, that,
Yeah,
right
it's
there.
the Holy Trinity. yeah. With Pete Andre. No, I'm just joking. The first thing everyone brings up, at least when I first moved here, was Pete Andre. Never understood.
That's upsetting.
Never understood the UK's obsession with him because we didn't even know who he was when I lived there. So.
Cultural icon, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, this is it. It's an interesting one. No urge to go back and find an A-League team.
Well, so here's the thing, the A-League came out when I was 15 and super already into football, and because I wanted the A-League to do so well, it's a running joke really, but basically, I'm from Melbourne, but by that stage we'd moved to Brisbane, and my friend's dad was the coach of Brisbane in the founding year, so I supported Brisbane, but I also had a soft spot for Melbourne, but Sydney had really good active support, and I loved Adelaide's stadium, and I just wanted everyone to do well. It's really hard to explain.
No, I completely understand.
Like, I feel like a lot of people don't understand when like you need the league to do well. It doesn't really. I could never hate another club because if they lost, I'd be worried about how that would affect their crowds, and I just wanted the game to do well. So I love all the teams, and the funny thing I say to people is like often. Going for a club isn't just about going for a club. You also have to hate your rivals, and that's one of the many times when I've thought this could be my club. I don't hate their rivals as much because I'm kind of fascinated by all football fans. So, you know, when I was when I thought, I think I might go for Everton because of Cahill, but then you have to hate Liverpool. I'm like, I really like Liverpool's supporters and the cop, and so I can't hate them, and it becomes this thing where if you can't hate your rivals, you kind of can't support the team either. If that makes sense. Imagine being an Arsenal fan and you're not bothered by Spurs. It just wouldn't make sense. You'd be abandoned. You'd be seen as like
you left on a drifting rock.
Yeah. I feel like when it comes to loving a team, you also have to hate a few other teams, and I don't have that in me.
Just to interrupt on levels here. So Ellie's just had a question in from a fan. The only interaction I'm getting on my phone is my mother telling me to sit up straight with 3 exclamation marks.
I'll sit up straight as I would all.
Yeah. Say hello to my mum.
Hey mum.
Hello, Mr. Lorenzo. Whoa.
How's that? How's my posture?
Yeah, your posture's good.
Fair enough, yeah.
This is it. This is the new couch.
Yeah,
the new
exactly.
couch that's done this.
I can't lie, it's not as comfy.
No.
But that could have been because of the slope that it kind of
It was the dodgy leg that really made it. It gave it its full comfort.
Yeah, but if you watch that Watchalong back, and I have, you can see the various stages. It's not just one moment that it collapses. You can see it going for a good half an hour before.
A few comments.
It was the crack. The first crack, I think, was the moment that it was like.
We should have taken the warning. Yeah.
We're in trouble here. The best moment of that entire Watchalong was when the substitute sofa got brought in. That was that was
what
magnificent.
A production, eh?
Like,
unbelievable.
It was just sensational. Phil Foden is
dragged down by
running a little bit riot.
I think Casemiro's injured himself in the process. Is that
yeah, I mean, it wouldn't hugely surprise me because he has not made any attempt to actually play the ball there. He's just thrown himself at Phil Foden. De Bruyne has kicked the ball out in pure anger there as well, but I think it's also because Foden's on the deck. Yeah. It's not a nice challenge, this.
No, not at all. And Casemiro's already on a yellow, isn't he? Is he not for the tackle on De Bruyne?
There was a bad one earlier.
Mate, this guy's playing with fire. What's he doing there? You can't
Casemiro is the king of not getting booked.
No, but he
has like supernatural. No, because Fernandinho doesn't get booked for things that are like, you're like, okay, that's probably a foul because you pulled someone down the halfway. Casemiro doesn't get booked for like 2-footed slide tackles. Like, he is a genuine master. I'm not sure how he gets away with it. But
can we ask the powers that be? Is he yellow?
We'll find out. I'll check on the LiveScore app.
Haven't seen the widget yet.
Yeah, haven't seen the widget yet. It might be time to bring up the widget. Widget is my favourite thing.
It's times like these when there's nothing going on that
Casemiro has not been booked. There's the widget saying that Man City are on a dangerous attack.
There's a slight
delay on the widget, I think, in terms of where we are. He does show the ball is out on the left hand side there. You can see at the top. So that's good. We know where we are. We know what's going on. But yeah,
we've gone past the half-hour mark, and we mentioned it before we started. Is this tie living up to it? Is it even coming close? Is this game, living up to the first leg?
No, but it's also okay to like. I mean, the longer it stays level, the more drama we might get at the end.
Yeah.
So that you have to kind of
as they search for a winner, or at least
exactly. As in, City will have to start. Real Madrid will have to start pushing forward, and City can then cook on the counter, which could be incredibly interesting. Maybe it's a Jack Grealish special. Maybe this is the time he announces himself as a City player.
Unbelievable that he's being benched for the Champions League.
But Pep does this. But every time a big player signs, he just doesn't play them for like a year, and then suddenly they're like, oh right, you're ready now. In you come.
He did it with Foden. Good point. Yeah.
Mahrez as well. In the first season, there were long periods where he just didn't really get a go.
Bernardo, he seemed ready to let go, and he's pulled him back, and he's been one of their best players.
Well, I think last year Bernardo was just sort of just the kind of odd man in a slightly differing team. Ooh, there's a lot of going down on the deck here. That's Ben's.
Benzema's just got one in the knackers.
I know that look.
Should we have a look at how the game's ebbed and flowed then? The match momentum chart, mostly City, which is slightly not quite how I would have pinned it. But I suppose they have had a lot of the ball.
It's their final third pass differential, right?
Yeah.
So what we're looking at here is how much more City are completing their final third passes than Real Madrid, particularly between, about 20 minutes there where it peaks at the bottom?
Yeah. Well, I suppose in that element, you look at how Madrid are kind of trying to play, and it is those whipped balls from slightly deeper, and perhaps those not connecting doesn't necessarily matter in the game state, but it won't register on the match momentum chart, which is important to kind of think about. I suppose
there are caveats to our charts.
But it usually tells a pretty accurate story of the game. Match momentum chart. I've got to say, it was a new one on me this season, but I have grown to love the match momentum chart.
It's one of my favourite charts.
Not as much as I love the widget, but the match momentum chart.
I wonder if the widget's still on dangerous Man City attack.
Nah, I think it'll be save possession now. This is my favourite. Well, it's catching up.
Yeah.
There you go. Ball safe, Man City. There we are.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
You can't get anything past the widget.
The widget's always right. And again, if you've seen us on this before and you're looking at it this time, it's the best way to explain to your friends what's happening if you're sitting around a table at the pub and you're unable to watch the game. Sit, watch the widget and explain and do live commentary. It's great fun. Or as I said last night, ex-friends is what I now call them.
Is it expected friends? Or?
No. Expected friends is lower than it was before I started talking about the widget every time we went to the pub. I'll give you that for free. City are starting to overload this Madrid box a little bit. The press is real high, which probably bodes well for them.
Here we go.
Oh, good ball from Modric over the top.
Fantastic ball. That's got to be a foul, hasn't it?
But that's exactly what they were missing last week, those recovering Kyle Walker runs. If you have Kyle Walker in that foot race with Vinny when he scores...
Who was playing in his place last week?
It was Fernandinho at right back.
Okay, or who made the mistake.
Well, he got brought on. They started with John Stones, which made a little bit more sense.
And then when did they take John Stones off?
He got injured about half an hour in, I'd say. Yeah, around then.
Fernandinho came on, set up a goal for Foden, but then was just completely caught lacking, wasn't he?
He set up a goal, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm the guy," and he got spun on the halfway line, and Vinicius was like, "Out the way, please, old man. I've got things to do," and that was kind of that. Talking of City and the kind of rotations, I suppose, they've had a lot of different goal scorers this season. Can I ask you both who you think City's top goal scorer is across all competitions this season?
I'm going to let Eddie go first because I think I might have seen.
Just the way that they play. Obviously, it's a spread the goals around team.
Phil Foden?
James?
I think it's Riyad Mahrez.
That's what I would have gone with. But look at how this spreads. It's like there's a lot of people on 10 plus goals here. That's a lot of names.
Also, that's a lot of goals just for Mahrez. I feel like that hasn't got enough coverage.
He's had an incredible Champions League season as well. I think he's one goal off, if I'm not mistaken. I think he broke it in the last game. I think he is City's all-time top scorer in a single season in the Champions League.
What's he on in the Champions League?
I think it's 9.
Okay.
But yeah, it's been a very good goal-scoring season for Riyad Mahrez.
Where's he going now?
That's a very good defensive header from Ferland Mendy.
He's De Bruyne in his favourite position.
He's in the half space, as Dean said. City win another corner.
I mean, this is exactly what I was talking about in terms of playing it like they did against Atleti, because they look comfortable doing this, and I can see them doing this for another hour and just seeing out the game as it is.
I just don't think you can protect a 1-0 lead against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. I think that's a fool's game.
I don't think. No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying they're trying to, but they would have taken the sting out of the crowd. Not that we can hear them at the moment, but they would have taken the sting out of the crowd.
Even with the exposure to the elements.
Laporte seemed to look confident of what's about to happen here. Keep your eye on Laporte. No, got that wrong.
Even with the exposure to the elements, I think City have managed this first half nigh on perfectly. Short of scoring, obviously. I think Pep will be very happy with this.
Yeah, well, there's been no sipping of water bottles.
No sipping
so
of
we know
water.
that. We know that's going well.
Foden with the volley.
Ooh.
Another great save by Courtois.
No, really good defending.
Foden showing skills is one of our Man City tiles.
Okay.
I kind of want to see him do something
Yeah,
like clever.
yeah.
I thought that was
Speed
pretty
to do
impressive.
that.
That's a volley outside the box.
Yeah,
Well, a weaker
but
foot as well.
I'm kind of just out. I'm kind of on that kind of him dinking through two defenders and going for a little dive. Well, here goes Vinny on the break. Great
What a
tackle,
tackle.
Kyle Walker.
Kyle Walker's really coming to.
And that's what they miss. I think
Exactly.
the thing with Kyle Walker is right that the fact you kind of watch him and you never have to worry about who's playing right back, do you? Like the rest of this team moves about. Pepper's, shifted his centre backs. We've seen Stones and Laporte. We've seen Stones and Diaz. We've seen Diaz and Laporte. That is a great hit
it's a
from
good
Foden.
hit.
At left back we've seen all sorts. Cancelo at the moment has that position pretty well nailed down, but Zinchenko started the last Champions League final. We know the midfield rotates. We know this. Kyle Walker's just been playing right back like for all this time. Like, it just feels like he's kind of allowed Pep to do all of his other things by just being the guy for loads of time.
And what
Pep just trusts him implicitly. I think that's it.
And what a seal of approval that is from Pep. The master rotator.
Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
not many players who've played under Pep that can count.
Well, especially because
themselves
Cancelo was
being
brought
on
in
the
as a
team.
right back, right? Like Cancelo was brought in basically to displace Walker, and Walker was like, no.
It's not happening.
Not today, mate.
It's kind of what Jesus has been up to since the rumours have gone that he's going to ask.
Yeah.
It's not happening, mate.
Just take a look at the old average position maps, pull them up to, we'll start with Real Madrid, but everything's going down that left. I mean, I suppose it makes perfect
Because of
sense.
Vinicius?
Well, considering Valverde is the other option on the wing, who's a far more defensively minded player.
Sure. But the one ball he put in was arguably one of the best
Yeah.
passes to Madrid.
But he'll have to track Cancelo up and down that wing all day. And it just means that Vinicius is kind of freed down that side. They're trying to play those neat little combinations, and Modric popping up in those spaces just to try and free. You look at the contrast though on City's one, and maybe this speaks to that momentum chart. They're very high up still, even away from home. There's no attempt to block it.
I talked about caveats.
Look where Cancelo is on that map, at left back.
Yeah.
And that's why Valverde is so far back.
and Walker so deep, dealing with that Vinicius threat going the other way. But again, the caveat with these charts is that it's not necessarily where they are all the time; it's where they take their touches. So you look at
it's an in possession map.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in possession. But so I think it was last night that we had 𝗟𝗏 way up in the opposition offside.
He was offside. Yeah, he was offside. His average position was offside.
There's no way
Benzema's gone
There's
through.
no way he's on there, is he?
Has the flag gone up? He'll be delighted.
This is prime Pep sip territory. I mean, he's well off, but
Yeah, he is off. It is offside, and it has been given as offside.
yeah.
He should still be put that way though.
I wonder how much that.
You'd rather miss your offside chances.
Yeah. You know ones where you're relieved when the flag goes up. That's always a classic.
Like psychologically, it makes you be like, okay, cool.
But this is the thing. So Jermaine Defoe always used to say, if you missed an easy opportunity, the next one was guaranteed to go in, which is statistically impossible. It doesn't work like that.
But
Each chance is unto itself.
So much more than that.
But but it gave him the confidence that actually meant the next chance he probably was more likely to score.
Yeah.
It was never
Mentally.
a certainty. But yeah, that's the kind. It's interesting how you kind of can trick yourself into believing that. Maybe because Benzema's missed that, the next one.
Jermaine Defoe was an absolute gunman, though. So
Absolutely. Yeah, he probably has got a lot of sample material to work with there and establish a good old confirmation bias. But yeah, it's interesting. I wonder how much offside misses like that weigh on the mind. When you look up and see the flag up and you're like, right, that's gone now.
I got that out of the way. Yeah, glad. Yeah, exactly. Because the game it's all about slight differences.
Yeah, I can read that.
Going into half time, if the score stay the same, what are both coaches saying? Like, all right, the plan's working, or?
Probably. It's a bit of a weird one. Obviously, after the first leg of this, we spoke about things, and we were saying that both coaches at 4-3 probably quite happy. They both feel like they've done pretty decent job. You know, City have created loads of chances. They've opened Madrid up time and time again. But Madrid are like, we're still in this game. We've gone to away at 0-0 at half time. You think, you know, Ancelotti's going, yeah, this is probably fine, man. It's all good.
Yeah, I think they're both.
I think Pep's probably like, well, we haven't conceded. We haven't let the atmosphere get on top of us.
Yep.
All of the things are just as kind of as you were, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's quite an interesting dichotomy.
And it's like you say. I mean, I was kind of pouring scorn on the spectacle after last week a bit earlier on, but you were absolutely right, Jack, because all this does is build the tension and the atmosphere and everything else as we head, as the seconds tick down further into the second half. Because if it's still like this with 10 minutes to go, it could be absolutely blockbuster.
Yeah, I mean,
you do wish there was away goals though.
He hasn't given that. No, absolutely no chance. He's played for it. Here goes City.
I think I'm
Oh, that's a terrible pass.
De Bruyne has absolutely scolded him.
Yeah,
It's pinker than usual.
De Bruyne is not happy.
Remember
When
that
he
famous
had a
video of
cool
De Bruyne
haircut.
when they're pretending to take a... He's taking a video and he says it's a photo and he says, "It's a film, you idiot." You see that one? It's one of my favourite videos of him. Sums him up, he's such a control freak.
It started to end a little bit here that we didn't see in the earlier half. It's really started to open up a wee bit, which is probably natural because there's only a couple of minutes before half time. But equally, he's good.
Yeah.
Casemiro. So we are saying that Casemiro has escaped 3 yellow cards now.
That's unbelievable.
One for that tackle on De Bruyne, one for pulling down Foden and getting injured in the process, and now one for diving.
It's unbelievable.
It's
Laporte there
It's quite
jumping again
something.
with his hands in the air.
yeah, he's got to stop that.
Yeah.
Like it's not worked for him before. Yeah, it's
Give
not-
us a shot of a sip from Pep. That's all we want now.
You
to
might
round
do it
out
at the
half.
half-time whistle, just as he goes to walk down the
that's
tunnel.
true.
He strikes me as the kind of manager to be jogging down there, like
Wouldn't it
before,
Pep-
That's
before the whistle.
That's a Klopp thing.
Do you think?
Pep is the kind of man who will stand at the sideline,
Sipping.
give 3 or 4 claps, and then stroll down. He'll let the camera get to him first, to work. To work at what's gonna look good for the cameras. This is a GQ man.
He's De Bruyne. He's absolutely
a
missing
corner.
that one. Is that a corner? I was going to say.
I would say.
Big last minute opportunity.
Him and Foden.
I love how Phil Foden always. You ever see someone do something good, then Phil Foden pops up in the background to give them a hug.
He's a proper hype man, isn't he?
He loves it. Like
He's just, honestly, I can, if anyone's going to bring that World Cup home, I can see the Foden, maybe not this upcoming one, but there's something about this guy. He's such a leader. And he's, how old is he? 21? Unbelievable. Oh, just such a star.
Not a great corner, though.
Not a
it
great
wasn't
corner.
a good corner. But they've done that a couple of times. They are trying something there. I'm not 100% sure what it is.
Yeah.
But it's not every single corner has gone deep. So I mean, they've either identified a weakness.
Have they just called? They've called half time. Why are they laughing? They've just conceded a corner.
I think they're just
This is
enjoying.
Benzema,
Yeah,
though.
Yeah, having a great
Benzema
time.
doesn't. After the goal, was it Bernardo's goal last week? And he was just laughing.
Yeah.
He was just.
Was he?
He was just. That's good crack. What a goal!
Yeah.
There it is, half time.
What are they
They're
all
not happy about
complaining
something.
Yeah, very, very confused.
Something mad is going on. How old's 𝗟𝗃𝗃 now?
Yeah, again on the wrong side of 30 if you're looking at being longevity.
Ellie, you've got to stop testing Jack's knowledge.
Yeah, ages aren't great, mate. I know
I'll turn
lots.
to you, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh no, don't
I
turn to
know
me.
many things, but ages
There's
are not. They're not up my bag, I'm afraid.
Something's going on though. Look at this.
Yeah, really, really angry about something. I'm not 100% sure what it is.
This is brilliant. This, I
We
love that
add
kind of
some
needle.
spice. Yeah, we do need
absolutely.
the spice. I'm not. Yeah. City are just angry about the way that they've been passing Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah.
Madrid are furious about something else. I'm sure we'll see. We'll have a look at Twitter at half time. But let's take up the flank attacks and have a little look. We'll start with Real Madrid, and it is, as expected,
It tallies
all
with everything
down
else.
that left. I think it's been interesting that Modric has played, it has drifted far more to that side. Obviously, you can, obviously look at the way that the midfield works, and the balance of it means that he's going to be the most advanced of the three, but he really has been high and wide on that left-hand side, trying to slide in Vinicius. He's not always there. He's been asked to play more centrally at times by Carlo Ancelotti this season, almost in a 10. But let's look at City. They're also down the left, and with Cancelo, Bernardo, Foden, that trio combining. And it was interesting to see the way that I thought, James, in terms of how the two of Jesus and Foden started with Foden wide, and we saw Pep's comments obviously in the week that he's not ready to play through the middle yet, Pep said. But Jesus drifted out there for long periods, and that's when that volley came in, perhaps City's best couple of minutes and best couple of chances.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they've looked decent there. I'm saying we said a couple of minutes ago that both sides will be pretty happy with that result going into it, but actually just compare that first half to the first half that Real Madrid put out last week. They're a lot more in control this time, and actually, having said that that it's still fairly even, I'm probably more sure that Real Madrid go through off the back of that first half because
really,
only slightly.
Oh,
I'm not. It's not a resolution. I'm not.
Remember, if they score that, even a goal just equalises it on aggregate.
Yeah, a goal and we're going. One goal swing to Real Madrid at full time and we're going the distance.
Yeah.
But
there's been a couple of openings. Yeah, and that my overriding feeling is I can't work
the
it
best
out.
opportunity.
But the needle is for me anyway is drifting towards Real Madrid.
The best opportunity came for Man City.
Yeah.
And I think
that was
the Bernardo chance.
The Bernardo chance.
I'd love to pull up an XG timeline because compare that opportunity with the swathes of opportunities they had in that first half last week.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, the tie should have been done in the first half hour. The fact that they haven't even come close.
There is an
look
XG
at that
timeline, and it's real close.
It's like for like. I mean, I don't know what the same map said this time last week or this time last Tuesday.
Careful.
But but it wouldn't have been anywhere near that. And I think on that basis alone, Real Madrid have been far the improved side.
We've just seen the Benzema's first chance.
The first chance of Benzema,
when you look back on it, that was really...
He is in acres.
Of space.
Is it just a little bit too high for him?
It's probably not the perfect cross, but he gets a decent connection on it.
Might have been offside as well.
How's he... I don't know, it's just so unlike him, I guess.
But it's a very strange one for him to just be straight through the middle of two defenders and then neither of them pick him up. That's he's the only target. Like there's no other runners coming in here being like, oh, okay, cool. Like they have one job and it's to pick up Benzema, and he's just left with a double-decker bus either side of him. Like
double-decker bus.
But I mean, it did improve from there. That's the only clear-cut opportunity. Obviously, he gets the volley off. It goes a little bit, and he has the offside chance. But Real Madrid have had 6 shots, none of them been on target, and I'm going to discount this one. That's the far left because that's a speculative.
Yeah.
But to get 4 shots off in the box and have none of them on target is not great.
It's not very Benzema, is it?
It's not very Benzema.
Yeah.
You're right. Normally the silent assassin in these areas.
Yeah. I mean, going back to Casemiro, he's the most booked player in the Real Madrid side this season with 11. And you're absolutely right. It's a wonder that...
Yeah, 11. It doesn't seem that very much for old Carlos Casemiro.
Yeah, but, he should have had 3 this game, like you say. He should be on 14.
Has none, yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking Real Madrid are well in this. Well in, and you said earlier on that
if it's tight, then it's better.
Is that not shifting your needle as well, Jack?
Yeah, because I did think that there was a relative chance that City came out and blitzed this first half, and that obviously hasn't happened. And I do think that obviously keeping it tight is Real Madrid. I didn't think at any point we were going to watch Real Madrid 4, City 0 here. At no point did that come into my thinking. So it being tight does swing in Real Madrid's favour. But I thought they'd be more on top than they have been with the crowd behind them, with that push, with that kind of atmosphere.
I
thought Real Madrid would come out. I said City. I thought City would come out and push, but I thought Real Madrid, it would be really end to end in the first 5 minutes, and it wasn't.
That's what everyone was hoping for, wasn't it?
We have last week's XG map. Look at the difference.
So
at half time.
By half time, City are well in front with 2 big chances. So that chance on about 10 minutes that leads to the goal, and then a flurry of others. It's interesting actually that a lot of the biggest steps in that map there are in the second half. But again, the caveat here is that where the ball gets squared and no one gets a shot away, that doesn't register as a chance. I think if anyone watched that first half back, they probably, if they were making their own version of this map, there'd be a few higher steps in that orange line. But I mean, like I say, Real Madrid on about 0.5 at half-time, as they were last week. City have been brought down to their level.
Yeah, but you know, you said at the start, their level is fine as long as City don't concede. I think the longer it goes at 0-0, the more chance Real Madrid have of just nicking a goal. But what I would be hanging on to as a City fan is that I think they've been the better team, and that's not easy at this stadium to quieten it down, to play like you say. You said at the start, James, that City need to play the game, not the occasion, and so far they have.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's exactly what they've done. There's been no drama. There's been no,
It's been a little bit of drama.
No, there was a little fight.
We
enjoyed a little fight. Laporte's on a card, so that's something to keep an eye on. Modric is on a card. Casemiro should be on a card.
How Casemiro skipped? How Casemiro is the one without a card? Just be on me. But,
but look, also City know that much as we talk about Real Madrid and much as we talk about their pedigree in this competition, City know that they kind of have their number in this competition as well. They've won 3.
Going back to the Joe Hart days, I remember Joe Hart having a world against him.
They've won 3 in a row against Real Madrid, and only a couple of teams have ever won 4 games in a row in European competition against Madrid. That would be quite something, quite remarkable. So.
This feels like the kind of game which, if they go through after, is what people point to and say, right, here's their pedigree, whether or not they go on and win the final. I can't remember who was saying it. There's someone sat in this very seat.
Stevens always says, if you can get to a final, you can win a final.
Yeah, and the pedigree comes from getting there.
Yeah,
and they've done that already. And if they went through tonight, I think that'd be a bigger statement. I mean, look at Liverpool's run to the final. Villarreal,
I mean, you can only
Benfica.
Play. You can only play
of course. But had City got to the final on the same run, they probably, they don't get afforded that credibility, that pedigree.
Point. That's a very good point.
But winning this game would be huge.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Especially after what Madrid's done to PSG and Chelsea.
Yeah, I think this is the thing. Like, there's always going to be an element of, kind of credibility about beating Real Madrid because they're Real Madrid in the Champions League. But I think if you beat them the year after Ajax absolutely whacked them, and there was that kind of like, oh God, like what's happening? What's happening with Real Madrid? Are they falling off here in their own competition? Having seen what they've done this year and what they've achieved in it, and the teams they've knocked out, there comes an extra level to what you're saying. I think
we're back to a classic Madrid as opposed to this wonky version that was it Ajax who beat them last year, who knocked them out last year? No, it was Chelsea last year.
Chelsea knocked them out last year, but then also there's the element of they were playing at Valdebebas rather than the Bernabeu.
Wasn't that strange?
No crowd.
That was strange.
It was a strange year.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had a weird couple of years full stop in the game, but
but weird doesn't necessarily mean bad, if you think about it.
No, not at all. I don't think there was plenty of people trying to take the shine off everything that happened, and I think that there's almost more respect for being able to get through what was an incredibly difficult time and achieve what you achieved in that period. Most people are just thinking about just trying to stay well. Going out and trying to entertain in that period is something quite remarkable. But it doesn't mean it wasn't strange. And there were some odd things going on. The first time that football stopped, I spent a long time following Belarusian football because it was the only thing available.
Kept going,
just watching gorodiya every week.
What app did you use to stay up to date with their scores?
I was using the LiveScore app. It was really useful. But actually, I was watching games, James. I wasn't there.
Not
just checking on the Gorodiya scores. I was watching Gorodiya's first team play week in, week out. I was like, who plays in green? I'll have them. One day I hope that I can go to Gorodiya and watch them in the flesh. They'd be very confused, I think, as to they were also a futsal team until about 3 years before.
I love this. Whichever team you get in, you get in. You learn your stuff.
You're
not a casual fan. No half measures. Gorodiya.
I don't know if that's actually pronouncing it right. It's just what I called them.
Obviously, there's Dinamo Brest and Bate Borisov, but I never knew that. Gorodiya.
G-O-R-A-D-Y-A.
Gorodiya.
Who'd have thought they'd get mentioned in Real Madrid versus City?
Well, this is it. Belarusian football in all its glory. You can check every league on the LiveScore app.
Can I just say, having just returned from Turkey where I wasn't able to use LiveScore, I was telling you this earlier, I never realized how much I use LiveScore because obviously I follow so many leagues. I was like, oh, who won in the Jupiler League in Belgium? And I was like, oh, geez, I have to Google this now. And then I was trying to find the scores with Milan, Fiorentina, and every time I kept thinking, like, I can't just keep Googling teams.
Yeah, just random pick a team and Google it.
Yeah, constantly like having a look and like type in like fixture result. So I missed you LiveScore.
Is that on the bingo? Is it Ellie giving LiveScore loads of love on the bingo card?
Honestly, I think
put it on.
I think I told Harry, the producer, I've actually missed you guys while I've been out here. So that bit of free advertising for me. I genuinely love you guys, and I missed you on my time in Turkey.
In the words of a famous song, you don't know what you've got till it's gone.
Absolutely.
Let's
you know
go
the
back
scores.
Yeah, well, you definitely know the scores. Let's go back to Real Madrid for a minute, given we're at half time. It's one of those things. I mean, what would the stadium be like now, El? Because there's that element of nerves, right? In that you've got to that. Oh, it's half time. We're not out of it, so it's better than it could be. We're still in the tie. We want to stay in it for as long as possible. Weird to say that Real Madrid are the underdogs in this tie, but they probably are.
Yeah.
Right, and there is an element of that. What will the concourses be saying? Will it be positive energy? Because this stadium, and this isn't a dig, but can be nervy, can be aggy. And if they don't get what they want, we've seen the Real Madrid crowd, turn on their own quite quickly at times.
I think there's an element of realization. I think the context here is different. They know how good Man City is. They know that they're so technically the underdog, and so I think the expectation is more, instead of getting on them, it's let's get behind them because, the odds are still against them. And so I think we're going to see a lot of support. I think it's only going to get bigger and better. They know, like you said, it doesn't take much to look at the Man City lineup and realise this team is not easy to score against. So I don't think it's actually going to get aggy this time. If it was against a lesser opposition, let's say Villarreal or someone else, I could see them, their expectations not being met. But I think they know we're the underdogs here, and the only way we're going to overcome it is by uniting, not by getting on their backs.
And they've just won a league, so they've had their 𝗟𝗶𝘃𝗏 party already.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone's happy.
It's interesting you say that though, because we mentioned the Ajax game from 2019 where they went out, they lost 4-1 on the night, I think, and I was at that match, and there were Ajax fans everywhere in the home end, in little groups, and obviously they were loving it. It was an amazing night for them and their recent history. But Real Madrid fans were not aggy at all, even though they were very much the side expected to go through. They were clapping them off. There was no aggression whatsoever towards those imposters in the home end. I say this as a West Ham fan who saw a lot of Frankfurt fans in the home end last week.
Treated slightly differently.
Treated slightly differently is a general way of putting it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I want to hear about that later.
But no, they were completely magnanimous about it all, and fair play to them in that instance.
There's something about Ajax though, isn't there? Like one of the grand old teams of Europe, when they do well, everyone's like, that's nice. Unless I imagine you're a PSV or a Feyenoord fan, in which case you're like, but watching Ajax, you're Real Madrid, being like, this is a game that could have happened in the 1965 European Cup final. We should give them all the respect that they deserve.
Football heritage.
Yeah, football heritage.
As one man may have said.
Well, there was that video, wasn't there, before Ajax Benfica of the two teams playing chess.
Wasn't that brilliant?
It was just absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, that was a great video.
And I thought that was quite special. Teams are back out, no changes from the looks of things. Don Ancelotti looking incredibly calm as usual.
Has he ever looked at anything else?
I know. Even at Everton, he just doesn't seem to. If Everton doesn't stress you out, nothing's gonna.
Yeah, if you can't be worn down by what's going on at Goodison, it's.
Wonder if he stays in touch with anyone there at the moment.
I don't think they want to talk. Imagine your girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly. Your girlfriend starts dating. Drake.
Yeah, exactly. she doesn't want. You don't want to hear from her. She doesn't want to hear from you.
He was like, leave me alone.
I mean, honestly, he's left them. He's in the Champions League semis.
What a start this is.
What a start! What a start! Oh!
The stunned silence in the studio. What a move from kickoff.
That's completely planned.
1, 2, 3, 4 touches.
That's not off the Real Madrid training ground. That's off Putney under 11's training ground.
It's a lovely cross from 𝗟𝗏 as well. Vinicius has missed a sitter.
Just doesn't get his feet sorted in time.
That is a massive let off for City.
Wow.
Putney under 11's training ground.
But it was so simple. I'm glad it did get some recognition. I thought it got lost. But it was so simple looking at that replay.
That
Benzema
is
again.
quite something.
City have started all over the place here.
Real Madrid
Real
also
Madrid,
started like
yeah.
a
Well.
train, yeah.
What has Benzema? What has Ancelotti said to them?
They've had.
We were just saying he's never not calm,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
he must have.
No, I reckon he's just.
He raised his eyebrows.
They really like Jaffa
Yeah,
cakes.
both eyebrows for
They really
once.
like Jaffa
They
cake.
really like Jaffa cakes. Someone always comes out real fast after half time,
Yeah.
and those people are the people you know really like Jaffa cakes. Like they've had the Jaffa cake, they're just like, let's get it, let's get it. It's great. It's great viewing. Great viewing.
What do you call his little facial hairstyle that Jesus has, where it's like the full square around your mouth?
Goatee.
Is that a goatee? No, I thought the goatee was just this one.
That's a soul patch, isn't it?
So goatee's the full.
I think so. Goatees around this bit. I'm not actually very good at facial hair because I can't really grow it. So
Okay.
this is 4.5 weeks growth.
That looks nice.
Well, yeah, if you're trying to be under 18, yeah. It's okay. It's all right. We all have our faults. But yeah, no, it's. I think a soul patch is just this bit.
The soul patch is that, but okay.
Yeah.
Jesus has got a really unique facial. His facial hair's. It's quite a unique style.
Yeah. I was looking earlier at Luis Diaz's old hair.
Yeah.
It was quite something.
I think there's got to be a story behind that. Otherwise, yeah, I think maybe it might be cultural. I've tried.
He just wore it for a year, just for the crack. I
There's
reckon.
no way. There's no way. Interesting guy though. I didn't realise he was from the indigenous community within Colombia. That's a really fascinating story. I'd like to hear more about actually.
Yeah. He's also just like his kind of just like development for coming from a football sense. His background is incredibly interesting.
Yeah.
And no one's really done that deep dive.
No, not yet.
But his foot, not yet. But his
Ellie's ears are pricked up.
Yeah, exactly.
Gap in the market here.
Cut that one down. But his footballing kind of development as well, because when he came in at Porto, Conceição was just a bit like, yeah, I mean, obviously he's well good, but
Yep.
like we can't trust this man in big situations. He'll do all the wrong things. Bernardo's doing more things. And then like the start of this season, he just stopped trying to beat players 5 times in a row and became a production machine. And since then, he was top scorer for a month in the Primera after leaving for Liverpool. Like it was.
That's
and then Darwin decided he was going to wake up.
Yeah.
But it was a really strange kind of thing, being like his output went from 0 to 100 real quick.
And Porto, have they secured the title already?
They are 6 points clear with 2 games to go.
Is it in the bag,
It's
Jack?
not. I've called it in the bag, so they will win the league. But they lost to Braga when they could have clinched it.
That's right. That was recently, wasn't it?
Yeah, Ricardo Horta scored with his bum, which is something you don't
Fair
see every
play.
day.
And who's
like
that?
on purpose as well. Like he fully did the jump and like swung. It was
Amazing.
real cool. So
That's the first way I ever scored for my club actually.
we're just off
Off the butt, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Kevin McDonald once got a brilliant goal for his bum against Leeds for Fulham. Talking of,
I thought we were going to go a whole watch along without a Fulham mention.
No,
but
don't be silly.
There we are.
Obviously,
49
we can't,
minutes.
We can't be doing that.
Ooh, great catch.
El, you've been on your travels. What have you been up to since we last saw you? What have you been making?
Well, I mean, I've only just got back last night, but so I've been to 𝗟𝗶𝘃𝗲𝗪 𝗪𝗁. I'll have to tell you about them and what they've achieved with their first Copa del Rey in 17 years. And then straight on the plane to Turkey, where I saw, as I'm sure many people have seen, thanks to the wonders of social media, Trabzonspor win their first league title in 38 years. They claim it's 11 because of politics and match fixing and everything else, but on paper, 38 years. At least it's the first time they've been able to celebrate it, as we said. 2 unbelievable stories, 2 unbelievable fan bases, and 2 unbelievable achievements when you consider what they're up against just to compete and win. Amazing times out there.
I mean, you've been in Istanbul and seen the kind of fervour of the rivalries there. It's been a bad year for the old big three.
It's been shocking. It's actually unbelievable. At one point, Galatasaray were flirting with relegation.
Yeah.
They lost on the weekend actually, so they're back down to about 12th or 13th spot.
They're probably good for Ellen.
They're good for that, but I mean, Galatasaray in the 13th
12th
position.
Yeah.
12th, yeah.
No idea. Well, wherever they are, but you're
Besiktas aren't doing that well. They're 6th. Fener have made a late run. But they're all just really disappointed. But that's the point, is that we're talking about them, but really the story is Trabzonspor. An incredible club, as I said to you earlier off camera. The most obsessed the city that's most obsessed with one football club that I've ever seen. I don't think I will ever see. There's just no concept of supporting anyone else. You don't, and you're not allowed. We did not see one other kit in stores, on the streets, anywhere. There's one club.
Do you know where the claret and blue comes from?
Yes.
Have they taken it off another team?
The story we heard before getting there was Aston Villa gave it to them, but everyone made it clear, no, that's not the case. Aston Villa did play a friendly a few years later, but the reason those colours were chosen was because the 4 clubs that it was 4 different clubs in the city that formed 𝗟𝗃𝗃 when the Super League wanted
Oh, Vinicius, stop
bigger
it.
teams. This is unbelievable. Modric, what's
tap.
he done there?
Oh.
Yeah, so
What's going on?
Wow. That was a lot.
yeah, a bit more party in the 11s.
Shenanigans. in the box
Shenanigans,
is
yeah.
what I'd call it.
Love to see it. So yeah, the colours come from a set of they had to avoid all 4 teams' colours that were formed to make the club. So all that was left was claret and blue. So that's what they went with.
Brilliant.
That's
And
really
now
cool.
everything is claret and blue, and I mean everything. You don't even realise it. It's just subtle things like the petrol station, the petrol pumps were painted claret and blue. We saw houses painted claret and blue. As I said earlier, the mosque's lights were in claret and blue. It was just something else.
It's I've never heard of anything quite that. There's a little bit of that in Bergamo, isn't there? Every kid gets given that.
Yeah, exactly. But I would say in Bergamo, there's still Milan fans in the city. They're not. Bergamo's up there, but nothing comes like to close. The only fans who was obsessed with their club that I can remember is Boca Juniors, and it really blows your mind. Just without 38 years of success, and people still feel that strongly. Another amazing thing about it is obviously Turkey's got a huge diaspora across Europe, the world, but particularly Europe. Little fun fact I found out when I went there is that diaspora, the vast majority came from Trabzon, or the Black Sea region where Trabzon's located, because that was the poor area. If you were in Istanbul, you didn't really need to leave the country. You were making okay money. So they are the ones who left for the Netherlands, for Germany, for Belgium, and therefore they all stuck with their Trabzon roots and only go for Trabzon. So the amount of German, Dutch and Belgian...
I was going to say it'd be some part in Berlin.
Flemish. Yeah, Berlin.
But then they all go back.
Everyone came back. So
it's amazing.
in the stadiums, I'd say honestly it was almost half-half. People from Trabzon and people from outside of in Europe. And their famous slogan, I guess you could say, is Trabzon is everywhere, and they really proved it. There were parties in New York, Times Square. There were parties in Rotterdam. There was a party I saw in Honolulu. I mean, if that doesn't sum up football, like a regional club in Turkey has people dancing on the streets of Honolulu. That's football, and that's why we're making this series. I mean, that's before I even get into Betis and the incredible achievement they've had by winning the cup.
Very emotional.
Yeah, it's been mad.
You must have seen, I imagine an emotional trip. That
it's been I've never seen so many grown men cry. It's something else, and there are tough people in the north of Turkey, and I saw some big men bawling their eyes out. I'm not too sure how happy they are that I've caught that on camera, but they're gonna have to deal with it.
You got out, you got out.
Deal with it,
It's done now. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm alive.
That's sloppy.
That's poor from Walker.
After we were singing his praises in the first half.
What are they doing, Vinicius?
That's 3 times that Vinny's been let just loose to run.
This side haven't come out yet.
I really feel like, you know what, Madrid on this run have had so many they've won or scored so many times when they're up against it that maybe they've run out of luck. Maybe that's it. Or am I calling it too early? I don't know.
I don't think you can ever call it too early. I don't think you can call it too early with Madrid. They have a seemingly inexhaustible amount of luck in this competition. Again, that sounds like a dig. It's not. You have to have luck to win a club competition. It's just how it is.
I often say this.
Takes you so far.
I often say this in the 90th minute. Everyone forgets.
Brilliant ball.
What a ball. Oh. Foden still got it in the box though.
Oh, lucky.
Are we looking at Foden showing his skills here?
It was. He actually lost the ball. So
but this is. I'm a bit nervous. I'm getting edgy here, Jack, because we're getting to the point where we start lowering the threshold here. He's won a free kick.
Yeah, he's won a free kick.
Should have won a free kick.
Should have won.
What?
He's off.
How's he put that ball through? I didn't see that coming.
Is that the link up? Well, that is.
If that had stuck.
I do like the bingo card. It does make you start to look for things, doesn't it? We need to cut to Pep. I reckon Pep's sipping away.
I barely.
Oh no, he's losing his mind on the.
I mean, we have barely seen it either, managers from our host broadcasters here, let alone a shot of drinks.
No. Yeah, much better Real Madrid. I mean, I'm sure in a minute we can try and pull up something to say that match momentum and see if it's shifted. But we'll see what the powers that be say.
So a glimpse behind the curtain here is that our gallery here, mixing everything, is just there. So when Jack says powers that be, lads, he's talking to you. We need some charts to talk about. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if it's Real Madrid for the first.
It feels like the game has swung in their favour, but also there is an element of this: can City weather this little storm here? And if they can, is there how much more of Real Madrid got in the tank? The only kind of question on that, I suppose, is that obviously Rodrigo and 𝗟𝗏 absolutely changed the game against Chelsea when they came on, but it felt like Real Madrid needed the game shifted in their direction, whereas that doesn't feel quite as much the case here.
No.
I mean, yeah, there was that chance straight from kickoff, but great ball from Walker.
De Bruyne has lost possession there.
Just things that don't normally happen with City are happening, aren't they? It's a bit like the first half with Liverpool yesterday, when it just looked like it just looked like nothing was connecting. You're just seeing it's not quite that bad for City, but there are just moments. So Foden letting one slide under his legs, De Bruyne losing possession there as he gets into the final third. It just
a bit sloppy.
Yeah, just a wee bit sloppy. That's exactly how I put it. Maybe the atmosphere is getting to them, James. Maybe it's that open air.
It's the exposure to the elements.
Yeah.
Exposure to the elements, love it.
It's
I mean, if we are going to zone in on the stadium, not having fans in those front rows and behind the goal there, where it's all just tarpaulin at the moment, must make quite a lot of difference to how the players play, in terms of atmosphere that's right next to them. I say this is a West Ham fan where you're not at any point around the stadium right next to a player.
Do you know what I mean? It's a really interesting one. And we spoke to players about this before, and they're like, "Does it? Do you hear what people say to you?" And they're like, "Yeah." I remember Ryan Sessegnon coming out and talking about at one point when he was playing against Millwall, and he was 18 at the time, and he went and shushed the Den crowd after scoring, and they said to him afterwards, "What was that about?" And he was like, "I just was fed up of them giving me stick from the sidelines." I suppose it is interesting, what people shout and what people say. Well, I mean, I think the thing might be funnier is actually just to start giving off really weird insults. That might be the
Your
way
mum's
to
a bad
actually get
cook.
in someone. Well, this is it. Your mum's a bad cook.
Wasn't there a story of I can't remember the Scotland right back giving Grealish chat about his calves?
Yeah.
Who's
flirting with him or something?
He plays for Motherwell.
Wasn't he flirting with him or something?
He was complimenting him. Yeah, he wasn't giving him any insults or anything.
No, he was just like, "Your hair is..." Steve McDonnell.
That's it. Yeah.
He was just like, "Oh, your hair's so nice."
Yeah.
So nice.
And it completely threw him off.
Yeah.
That's how I'd be doing it.
I like asking the referees to be my mate before the game. I'm not sure that would work in professional football though. Elements of when you're playing at university and it's just some lad from locally around there and you're just like, "How you doing, mate?"
So they can walk like that.
Carl Walker's giving the ball away again here. That's a couple of
Vinicius
times.
is flying.
He's flying, but there's not much there from him. Benzema was at the far post, but he couldn't make the ball get that far.
Let's take a peek at that match momentum chart if it is available, and it's still
Silva.
A lot of City, but still feels like it's swung back in the middle. Those first five.
Yeah, I mean, right on the dotted half time line there, just to the right of that, you can see Real Madrid's best swing so far, and that was obviously that incorporates their chance in straight from kickoff. But yeah, City have come back into it certainly. It swung just like it did in the first half, and really that's the long and short of it at the moment as we tick over the hour mark. This game is right in the balance.
So it's nice and end to end, isn't it?
It's end to end, but not in a manic way.
No. It doesn't feel like a basketball game.
No.
It's just like one team has a go, and then they go, "All right, your go now." It's like a chess game.
Yeah.
But with more taking of pieces.
Yeah,
I love it.
There's the analogy that everyone was waiting for. That's
like a chess game with more taking off pieces.
Yeah, it's like wizard's chess.
It's like that Harry Potter chess, life size.
Yeah, where they're like absolutely cutting each other's heads off. That's the kind of chess game that this is. Yeah. And if this ends 0-0, it's going to have been one of the great build-ups. Or
Sure.
Not that
It'll
it's
be so typical.
Not that it's been a particularly bad. I don't think it's been a bad game.
No, it's not.
It's just not been a great game.
Well, it was never going to be as good as last week, was it?
Well, it could. It didn't.
Especially after last night as well. Like you only
get that kind of thing in the Europa Conference League. That's actually where the action happens over 2 legs. Like obviously, if you've been keeping an eye on the competition, you'll have seen these things. But Slavia Prague Feyenoord was one of the greatest games over 2 legs that I have ever seen.
Was that the quarterfinals?
It was in the quarters, yeah. And then Feyenoord decided to follow it up by playing out 3-2 against Marseille in the semis.
Yeah,
and that goes back to Marseille, which will be a quiet night in the library.
Yeah, not.
Yeah. Here comes Zinchenko.
Yeah, Walker's looking...
They showed him and he was saying, I can't, when he was on the ground. I'm not sure if it was just...
It's not ideal for Kyle Walker to go off injured again, I'll be honest. That's just not really what anyone needed at Man City, I'd imagine. Maybe it's just precautionary. He's having an energy bar.
Back on the energy bars. It is interesting though, that we talked about earlier how he is one of the few City players that always just have a spot on the team no matter what. But is there a little bit of
he looks okay, to be fair.
He looks okay, but he's shaking his head. He's not.
No,
Pep, take a sip of that. Take a sip of that water.
Take it off, Kyle.
Yeah.
Something's not right. Like,
No.
what
Something hasn't been right since half time. Like I say, he's given the ball away a couple of times. It looks like he's going to try and carry on. I don't know where Zinchenko's gone. What I was trying to say was he's obviously one of the first names on the team sheet when he's fit, but how much there is short-sightedness from Pep in not signing a like-for-like replacement. I guess Cancelo was that, but he's been so good on the left that moving him to the right is...
And we saw that. We've seen that a couple of times, actually. He played on the right straight after that Walker injury, and he just has far less of an effect going forward.
Yeah.
But actually, that's not necessarily the problem right now. The question is, defensively, can he keep up with Vinicius? And the answer is probably not. Probably not loads. I mean, look, Vinicius has been excellent. Is his heat map?
Look at that, so advanced.
He does. He just.
How often?
He's just the final third nightmare.
How
right?
often did you see that much of the white hot orange that far up the pitch in a heat map? He's properly pushing them back, and you're right.
He's playing as high up as Bouli Dia did yesterday.
yeah. But you're absolutely right. You're going to need your right back to be on top form and in top shape to deal with it, and I'm not sure Kyle Walker is at the moment.
No, I would agree. Although he is back on the pitch, Cancelo's giving the ball away in weird situations. So there's lots going on.
It's just got a little bit scrappy, hasn't it? The last 5 minutes.
That's probably what City want, though. Here, right?
Yeah.
They want a few breakdowns, a few transitions,
break the ball, break it down, and then slow this game right to pace.
That's a foul.
That's a horrible
Clever
tackle.
by De Bruyne there.
Yeah.
Foden, I love him. Talking about great eyebrows.
We've got a tweet from the great Gary Lineker that sums things up.
This is the antithesis of last week's game, but enthralling.
It's great that he's put the LiveScore logo as his profile picture.
This is a show of solidarity for Gary there.
The man knows the greatest score app on the planet. He loves it. He loves it. Respect, Gary.
But he's right.
He's spot on. Yeah,
he's always
spot
right.
on.
It hasn't been, blockbuster, but it's been attritional and
I think it's been entertaining in its own unique way.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. This is it. Like, imagine that there's a lot of nerves in this stadium, right? Like from both fan bases. It's quite edgy. That's how I would put it.
Is this not where you would absolutely love an away goal scenario because it's one goal from Madrid that swings it?
That is true.
This is exactly why away goals were so good.
Away goals were. Look, I was
a
critic of removing the away goal rule, but actually having seen quite a lot of the goals.
No, I agree.
I actually think it's been probably a net benefit.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely spot on in where it would be in this game right
Yeah.
now. Like, this would be incredibly...
Guys, can we just note the pink that De Bruyne is kind of...
Yeah, he looks like a drumstick.
That can't be healthy.
Good ball.
Ooh, great ball.
It's the same colour as the Pepsi Max sign.
It's
That's
Zinchenko's got his
mental
bib back
fatigue.
on, so Carl
Yeah.
must be okay.
Playing ball boys and Zinchenko throwing it. Man City are going for this. They want to kill this tie.
Modric with a bit of a tug back there.
Yeah, I mean, also City have just set up camp in Real Madrid's half for the last like 5 minutes, which is quite useful. I mean, I suppose they're just not used to hugely being on the back foot, Real Madrid, right? Yes,
But-
they've had those turnarounds in competition here, but you look at, how many games this season have they actually like lost to a considerable margin? Only the one against Barcelona, and I mean that game is madness. I mean, El, you've done, you've covered that game and you've covered the Madrid derby, which is arguably more fearsome in terms of how much the two teams dislike each other. But the Real Madrid fan base in general isn't used to being second best
Or
That's how I
underdog.
put it.
No, yeah, that's definitely right. But I think as we're seeing, they're starting to have to come to terms with it in Europe, despite the fact they've won it a lot, is that with the money in the game now, hence why their boss was so intent on creating the Super League, they are struggling now to keep up with the big dogs. I mean, on the pitch, they're still keeping up somehow, but it's slipping from them.
There you
And I
go.
think-
This is the jugular move.
Who's coming on?
That's
Kroos
that's
off.
Rodrigo for
Rodrigo
Kroos, which means
on.
Valverde drops into the middle.
Okay. And Rodrigo goes to the wing.
Rodrigo will play on the right. Yeah, that's Carlo's attacking twin like pivot. He goes, okay, that'll do.
Carlo going double eyebrows up.
Yeah, this
Double
is it.
eyebrows up. I love that. Forget the on-pitch formation. What's the eyebrow formation saying?
I've only ever seen one up, one down. Ever.
It's
Any
fantastic.
shot of Ancelotti's eyebrows, one up, one down.
There's a few good eyebrows in the Bernabeu today. You got Gabriel Jesus,
Amazing eyebrows.
incredible eyebrows.
So, such a...
Casemiro, arguably as well. That's part of his unique look. And of course, Phil Foden always
Yeah.
looks
Yeah.
confused.
Does look confused.
His reaction to that Bernardo Silva goal last week was brilliant. It's just pure shock.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Just
great.
but-
It's great when you get those moments where the players are stunned
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
something. You're like, wow, that's really good because everyone
Yeah.
else has lost it.
Remember Drogba when Papa Ciske scored for Newcastle?
Yeah.
Bent it in and cuts to Drogba and he's laughing. Because sometimes you gotta go.
Yeah. Oh, well, that
fair
is
play.
the epitome of that, though, isn't it? That
Yeah.
was just a crazy goal.
That was just ridiculous.
You're like, also, there are elements you're like, obviously we can play really well and you want to, dominate and do really well. Oh God, is he in?
No, not even close. Come on, Madrid. Can't believe I'm saying that.
I can't believe you're saying that either, El. But here we
It's
are.
on camera as well.
Kyle Walker again, not quite dealing with Vinicius.
Oh, we got a Vinicius cramp
That's been given here.
and Walker cramp.
down
Walker's
again.
really struggling.
What we
And
got
this is going to
left?
have consequences for the league as well, remember.
Yeah.
Who's
although
City
I
got
do
this
think
weekend?
City have Newcastle but at home rather than away, which is more manageable in current St James's Park being on fire, and Liverpool have Tottenham at Anfield.
It's two big games.
Two big games. I think if the league is going to switch, this is the weekend it happens. That's my read on it. This is the weekend where if something's going to go wrong for either of them, I think it's here.
Imagine they both draw.
That's not a foul.
I still don't know what's been given. I've just seen
Yeah.
close-ups of people on the floor.
Walker doesn't look right, guys.
I'm not sure what he was doing
One
there.
more
That's a
roll,
lot of
one more roll.
rolls.
One
That's
more
a lot of
roll.
rolls.
I
still
think he's
down.
coming off. I think he's coming off.
He's surely got to. If you've come off injured and you go down again injured and the medics come on, the chances are you've got to go off. Or he's just incredibly good at game management.
Speaking of coming off, I might just take a quick break.
Yeah, absolutely. You imagine you missed the only goal in this game.
Don't.
You'd be furious. Gundogan. Oh, it's a stretcher.
Stretcher out for Kyle Walker. How annoyed would you be if this is the injury that they assessed 5 minutes ago and waved him on for, and they've just aggravated it for the remainder of potentially the season.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just the tangle of legs, really, isn't it? Ooh, his left ankle.
I think he's just jarred his leg a bit. I think he'll be all right. I think there's an element of this that Kyle Walker is playing up. I would think. Yeah, look, he's not at the stretcher.
I didn't think they were under the cosh that much that it needs to be stopped for 5 minutes.
But I think that there's an element here where you look at this and think, can we just wind this clock down, continue to quiet the crowd, kill any atmosphere, kill any momentum?
Yeah. Oh, no, yeah, of course I get the logic, but...
Zinchenko and Gundogan coming on. So Zinchenko
and
over to left back. And then who's Gundogan come on for? Because that's... If it's Bernardo, I think this might be a De Bruyne.
Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh. What's the thinking there, Jack?
I don't know. That's... Well, I mean, De Bruyne isn't having a great game. There is that element of it.
No,
but he's also
De Bruyne.
He's also Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah.
Gundogan likes a big occasion, doesn't he?
I mean, yeah, it's not a huge downgrade. It's Ilkay Gundogan.
There's rumours that he's going to retire at the end of this season.
I mean, he can go out on a high
because the rumours say that he's got a long-term back problem, which just means that he is just basically always in pain.
That sound nice?
Doesn't sound nice, but I think that it's the right decision if you're going to pull one of your midfielders, because Bernardo's actually been excellent.
Bernardo on the run here.
And
Sets it to Mahrez.
Oh! What a goal! What a
finish.
goal! Oh, that's amazing. What a finish
that is. That makes up for everything last week.
That is absolutely sensational.
Fans love it.
Oh, unbelievable.
And Ellie's missed it.
Ellie has missed a goal. That is absolute madness.
I held on for 70 minutes.
You're kidding me. Unbelievable finish.
It's all Bernardo, though. It's all Bernardo.
Well, it's Gundogan, though, that splits the midfield here with this. Turn.
Beautiful.
And look at, I don't know where the Real Madrid midfield is, but he's just got the run of the place in the middle of the park.
But how can Bernardo see that?
I don't
It's not on camera.
Has he? Is he not playing up to Jesus?
I don't think so.
Unbelievable. What a pass.
What a finish this is.
Who's
It's
finished
a
it,
proper
Mahrez?
whip from Mahrez as well. Like, absolutely, curled in.
Completely
Bang.
sends Courtois. Courtois doesn't see that at all.
That is a glorious strike.
Oh, we're going to see a bottle sip?
It's only after bad things, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah. That's amazing. So Pep pulled De Bruyne.
Did he?
De Bruyne's up.
That's the difference.
And
Gundogan splits the midfield in his first involvement.
And off they go.
The funny thing is, as I left, you're like, imagine if Ellie missed the goal, and I laughed. I was like, no, that's okay.
Nothing's happened.
I was just in the hallway. Oh.
What a finish.
So 16 minutes. This is
Real Madrid
to
need
find 2
two.
goals. I mean, on this season's evidence, you wouldn't put it past them, but this
Oh,
would
no,
surely be their
absolutely not,
biggest,
yeah.
their biggest ask yet.
It would be pretty remarkable. But Real Madrid are capable of the remarkable.
Oh, of course. You need only look back to
They could chuck Luka Jovic on. Maybe this is his moment.
Ooh.
That wasn't a foul.
Oh, we've got a double sub coming up.
Here we
Camavinga.
go. Camavinga's one of them. Is it Asensio? He loves an Asensio.
Really?
I don't think there was all that much in that. It is Asensio. Asensio for Casemiro.
Love Asensio. Loves a
He's
win.
Another
going
day,
for it.
another bookingless outing for
How on earth
Casemiro.
he's avoided a booking? We'll never know. And Modric for Camavinga.
He's got to go for it, hasn't he?
Well, so he's gone. He's gone. Well, he's gone.
Oh no, you know what that
4-2-3-1. You'd imagine.
I know we've done the amazing Watchalong. Okay. So what are we waiting for? Foden to show his skills.
Yeah.
Pep to sip his water bottle.
And Benzema and Vinicius linking up.
Well, they're going to stay on till the end.
All
so
still
imagine
possible.
That's gonna happen.
All still possible.
Has Walker stayed on the pitch?
No, he came back on and then got injured and got stretchered. Well, they brought the stretcher on, but he got hobbled off.
And he's subbed. This was Zinchenko, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zinchenko's gone to left back and Cancelo's gone to right back. So, well, that's not good.
Ancelotti's
He looks
up,
he looks confused.
That's 2 eyebrows down.
Not happy. That is a switch in shape, though. We haven't seen them very often from Ancelotti.
Oh, here we go. Fresh legs.
Look at that.
Look at the press, though.
City are
have found
relentless.
they found their extra
They're
gear.
properly on it now.
Let's have a little look at Riyad Mahrez's touch map. Obviously, the one just on the inside the box there is the goal. But only 2 touches in the box, right?
And 1 goal, but that's why they're top scorer in all competitions this season.
Yeah, and
what
I think
is that?
that's his 10th goal in. I think that's his 10th goal in Europe.
There we go. Clinical, which is what he wasn't last week. But you know,
well, you said it at the time, but I don't. Obviously, there was lots to react to because it was a goal. But it makes up for a lot of.
If they go through, absolutely. I mean, they didn't need the goal if they go through and it stays like this. But a goal like that.
Mahrez was the most profligate of all of City's profligacy.
Yeah,
Nice.
English grad over here.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Sometimes the degree comes in useful.
Love that.
But
You know what I've just been thinking though, if City does go through, I mean, City Liverpool again. This is turning into some fixture, isn't it?
oh yeah.
It's
This
really
is it.
become something else. I mean,
It's become it's quietly becoming, and I know obviously there's not the weight of history behind it and all those things, but in terms of actual like capacity and what we saw in the mid 2010s, it's becoming like an English Classico, isn't it?
Yep.
Like that's where we're at.
Yeah, good way of
And do you remember that kind of period where Real Madrid and Barcelona played each other 4 times in a month?
yeah,
And there was,
It was the biggest game on the planet every
2011,
time.
That was unbelievable.
and it does feel a bit like City Liverpool is the biggest game on the planet every single time,
Yep.
and that's a bit mad.
And what's nice is that, like those games between Barcelona and Real Madrid, they've been spectacles as well. That the most recent meeting in the league was a mad game.
And the FA Cup game.
Yeah.
So we've had 2-2
Yeah,
draws
the
this
left-
season and a 3-2 to Liverpool.
We have
Right.
been sport. And then add the last few years. Remember the one in 2019, January 2019?
The 2-1 that City won at City, Stephen says it, but I genuinely think might have been the highest calibre game of football I've ever watched.
Really? What
Like-
was that this season?
No, it was Sane scored 2 years ago, I think.
It was that famous one with the ball on the line and it was a matter of millimetres?
Oh,
Yeah,
the John
yeah,
Stones
yeah, the
clearance.
Oh,
Yeah.
amazing. And
The
that
Jack's
changed
on,
the
Super
whole
Jack's on.
Jesus is off.
So
Oh no, we
fresh
ticked
cut,
him off,
hasn't
didn't we?
he?
We ticked Jesus off.
Yeah, we tipped it, yeah.
Good ball. Oh, almost.
I would like Super Jack to score. Do you know what? That man has tried everything to upset me, and I still love him. I really love him deeply.
Is this the period in the watch-along where we go into Jack's Irish heritage?
No, we're not doing that because Dean isn't here to slag it off, so we can't do it.
I could have happily stepped in.
Oh, right, okay, great. Says the Italian over on this side.
What's your Italian
It's-
side?
On my dad's side.
And which club?
Oh, on my Italian side, I see Napoli.
Love that.
Napoli,
Okay, that's a
yeah.
Napoli. Oh, okay.
But we can go into my blood lineage as well if you want,
Yeah,
Eddie.
sure. Why not? As we always say, every day's a school day on LiveScore.
Every day is a school day. Are you related to the other Di Lorenzo?
I was trying to tell everyone he was my second cousin during the Euros, but they weren't quite buying it.
You gotta add an accent at the.
Yeah, and the wrist, get the wrist going.
He's my cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah, your lack of hand movement does hamper.
Yeah, I'm
your
British
heritage.
and reserved, aren't I?
Yeah, yeah.
Arms crossed.
Whereas I get told to put my hands away most of the time. They're like, "Stop it, Jack! You're like waving your arms around like a conductor." It's like, "What are you doing? We're on a podcast. They can't even see you." But yeah,
They do
10
say
minutes.
2-0 leads the most dangerous lead in football, and that's what Man City technically have.
Not with 10 minutes to go. Though.
it's also a lie.
Yeah, you think so?
I promise you that the most dangerous lead in football is 1-0 because only one goal stops you being in the
True.
lead.
When you're 1-0 up, you're more defensive minded, knowing.
Yeah, absolutely. You could hit on the old.
Yeah, like City, why they're going for another goal is beyond me.
People used to say the dangerous score is the most dangerous scoreline. The other day, someone said, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Grizz. Basically, it was just like
Specifically 2-0.
he was like, it's not the most dangerous scoreline in football. The most dangerous scoreline in football is probably being 7-0 down because you're not coming down. You're not coming back.
You're
from
in
that,
trouble
are
of
you?
losing.
Yeah, yeah.
Danger of losing when you're 7-0 down.
Yeah. 2-0 up is not the most dangerous scoreline you can be at. I promise you.
Oh, what Vinicius has done.
Oh.
Just need a few passes with Benzema. I can tick that off.
See, if that's Fernandinho from last week, Vinicius is gone.
Yeah.
Like, oh wow.
What's gone on here?
He's gone all the way. Is that a shot on target, do you reckon?
Is that a great Courtois save?
We've ticked that off.
We've ticked that
No,
one
we
off,
have,
it's
we
fine.
have, we have.
Yeah.
We're not reaching for that. We are reaching for 3 more though.
We're reaching for some Pep there, for some Foden skills.
Need a shot of Pep.
linking up
Any
with
Foden skills, I thought we would have ticked that off by now. And Benzema and Vinicius linking up, that's surely going to happen. I'll just take one pass
Foden
between
hasn't
them.
had actually that much
Here we go,
of
here we go.
ball.
Rodrigo,
They are bringing Fernandinho on.
Can you
I
imagine
wonder if that will be for Phil Foden.
Oh God, I hope not.
He's just not really got involved in this second half.
No, we should have ticked off when we had the chance. First half,
Yeah,
half
we-
volley on his right foot.
We passed up a big opportunity there.
We could retrospectively do
We
it.
could do it, but it feels. You know, like when you like
Benzema,
when-
is he onside?
ball.
Cuts inside.
That's what
Oh, good save.
Jeez.
That is
Yeah,
offside.
Yeah, it had to be.
It would have been. It would feel. I feel it would be a bit hollow. Taking it off retrospectively, it's a bit like, you know, when you're like playing FIFA and you just put like the other controller on until you've scored a couple and then you put it back.
But that's where I'm
feels
at
a bit
with this
like that.
bingo.
It feels a bit like going on Football Manager and then setting up a second profile to another club
It's a
and
classic.
selling yourself players
It's
for
a
like
classic
10p.
technique, yeah.
That would what it would feel
I
like.
spent such a long time of my youth doing that.
doing that,
Yeah.
and I was really good at Football
But I
Manager.
would always play as West Ham, and obviously you try and sell Cristiano Ronaldo to West Ham and he wouldn't want to go. So I do everything I can pre-sale to really annoy him. You know, run down his, give him nothing, wind him up. He would never go.
He'd still never go. He's like, there are lots of clubs interested. Funny enough.
Yeah.
Ball.
That is lovely. There's loads of them. The two Portuguese. Oh, Bernardo, stop
So
it.
good. Good tackle though.
He's a good
Camavinga.
Do we got a tweet from Big Steven, our resident City fan. Also put his profile picture as the LiveScore logo. Everyone's on it tonight. He says, "I love you, Mahrez." Yeah, I mean, I imagine that's quite a relatively popular sentiment amongst Manchester City fans for the moment.
For the moment, yeah. I mean, it
Paris
was
is
such
just
a
a-
good finish, wasn't
Paris,
it?
as they call, what do they call it, the English? Roast beefs?
Roast beefs.
Roast beef. They're going to be
Yeah.
packed with roast beef.
Very,
I was saying to a friend, like, what, it's an hour on the train? Like, that city is going to be English. It's,
Oh yeah,
Oh.
it's going to be also like, it's one of those ones. If it was, you know, obviously removed from St. Petersburg for perfectly reasonable reasons, but if it was there, not many people are travelling just for being around the ground. Like, unless you have a ticket, you're probably not going to go to
No,
St. Petersburg.
no.
You are going to go to Paris.
Yeah.
Is
So-
there a more accessible European city?
Probably
London.
not.
For everyone?
Yeah,
but for
London.
every, you know, if Real Madrid were to get through to the
Oh
final.
right, yeah, 100%. I thought you meant for in fact, I would argue
no.
for Manchester and Liverpool. It's probably one of Manchester and Liverpool.
No, but before the season has started, Paris is an ideal destination for almost every fans of every team.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, unless you are Shakhtar Donetsk, that's probably quite far for them.
But it's one of the better middle grounds, right?
If you're in Western Europe, I would argue with you. I would agree with
Okay, I'm not going to take you on geography. How are we doing on the bingo?
you. Yeah, how's bingo going? Here, it's Mahrez coming off. You're safe on the Foden point for now.
Okay.
Pep going very
Can you imagine?
defensive here.
Last 6
That's Bernardo
minutes, we
out to
tick
the
off
right
3
wing,
of
I
the
would
tiles.
suggest.
Where's Pep? Is he drinking?
Because Fernandinho, do you reckon Pep's brought him on here for 5 minutes just so he can just, at the end, you know, give Vinicius one? Be like, mate, don't ever do that again. That's not okay.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to be ringing
There
up.
is a little bit of a hint
I'm ringing
of-
up Dani Alves and he's going to drop you from the next Brazil squad.
Yeah.
Like,
So City going on the attack from this set piece.
I
here.
would probably not do that for me.
Whipped in, headed away.
what do you mean? You
Oh yeah, just
keep the
take
ball.
it straight to the corner.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm not Man City. Like, I'm coming at that from a very underdoggy perspective. Don't worry, Fernandinho is also coming at it from the very
Yeah.
underdoggy perspective.
Straight to the
Who
corner.
did he come on for?
Mahrez.
He's come on from Mahrez.
Okay. It's Laporte, captain.
Now goes Cancelo. Is he going to shoot? He loves a shot.
He does love a shot. You called it.
The whip on that.
Oh,
I mean, we'd already ticked off, but great Courtois save.
Yeah.
is a good call.
It's a shame we can't get double points for some of these things.
Yeah, that would make. Oh, we even got the line. We haven't got the line.
No,
even,
I
have
haven't
we?
even got Benzema Vinicius. This is where we could have ticked it all off in the first 15 minutes. This is where the threshold is so low, but we just don't have the time.
Yeah, but it does make it more exciting. It's a bit like it being 0-0 with 2 minutes to go. Like you're waiting for drama.
If we take 3 tiles before the end of this match, I'm on the pitch tops off, on the table.
Amazing. I'm on the pitch.
Bingo done.
In the Thames.
In the Thames, yeah.
Going for a quick.
How has he
on
got
this?
And how's he got it between the two players? Like,
That's a very
look, he had so little space to get in between.
And a little nick.
Tiny nick, but I think what's underappreciated there is that as a goalkeeper, you have to anticipate that coming back towards you, because as that leaves his foot, it looks like it's going well wide and out of Courtois' reach. And the way it comes back in, I think that's so impressive to have his hands. What is going on here? Grealish is just through on the left-hand side.
Has he scored in the Champions League yet?
Yeah.
Oh! What has just happened?
Another one cleared off the line.
It's like Foden not score.
It's like a clearance on the line, but not a
it also then
clearance.
just hit Foden.
Yeah, it's like the reverse of last week. And Foden just hit, was it 𝗟𝗏𝗃𝗲 on the line?
It's all going down now.
Oh, what play,
what
good
City,
one.
how is City looking like they're more likely to
this is-
score?
What a finish this is.
Come on, Jackie.
Oh, it sits them down.
Oh, Jack Grealish has missed by inches.
Jack's having his moment.
He has come on and just...
Look at that. He's had a haircut lately, hasn't he? He's got this fresh
He's
bob.
got new highlights as well.
𝗟𝗏𝗃𝗲 needs to give him some praise.
Oh, on his
Calm him
left as
down.
well. Oh, it's
a save.
That is a great save.
That is
I want
another
this
great
one,
save.
That is
This is the one
that
I'm
is the
after.
save of the day. That is some.
That is a great save.
A triple tick on Courtois' great save. I want to see
Sip
the one
the water,
before.
sip the water.
That's what I'm after. I'm after the mad one which came off the line.
Yeah.
Yeah. How have you not seen?
Anyone would think City are behind here.
Yeah, but they do say that attack is the best form of defence.
They do say that.
Just sort of like we're rattling through cliches at this
Yeah.
point.
Why don't we have cliche bingo?
I mean, we should run a parallel bingo next time.
What,
Of,
just
couch
About
breaks.
us, yeah. Couch break, cliches. Toilet break, missing the goal.
Yeah, that is the first time that's happened.
I can't. When I heard you guys screaming, I was like, "There's no way." Please be a red card. Please be a
Is
red
Vinny
card.
in? No.
Oh, he bends my hit at you.
Brilliant challenge that Rodri. Although that was real bad from Gundogan.
Off
Is Grealish
Grealish
going
goes
to
again.
do these things? He's like,
Oh, look at it. It's the
What he's
battle of the
been brought
hair,
in to
battle of
do-
the bonnet.
we've been brought in to do is
Battle of
win fouls and
Yeah.
get up the pitch.
Yeah.
The two things that Jack Grealish is incredibly good at.
Come on, give us some 𝗟𝗏𝗃𝗲 link up.
Here we
One
go,
completed pass, I'll take
Couple
it.
of minutes left.
Here we
Here
go.
we
This
go.
is it.
Where's Benzema though?
He's there.
Delayed
on the
run.
edge. Like that. Rodrigo's playing very, very centrally.
Why?
It's crossed in fairly aimlessly from Vinny there, and Bernardo picks it up. Good tackle.
Ooh,
from-
that is some tackle.
Ooh, that's a good second.
Jeez.
It wasn't a nice tackle.
No.
But he got the ball.
Yeah. It looked a bit two-footed. Was my
Yeah, a bit lungy.
Yeah. Bernardo didn't seem to make all that much of it, so maybe it was right. Maybe Bernardo's just a really good bloke.
Rodrigo, has he done him there?
Little Megs.
All right, go to the
Brazilian
final,
Megs.
final
That should have
minute.
been on there. Brazilian Megs.
Brazilian Megs,
Megs.
yeah. Good ball.
Oh, here we go. This is their last chance. Oh, I can't see it.
Just
That was it. That was
reach.
the moment.
Marco Asensio is another player who's just been at Real Madrid for just far too long, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He could have just been...
I know. He's just. Remember when he used to score those worldies every week? That was it. Come on.
Yeah, he'd just come. He'd have 10 shots in 10 minutes and
Benzema
score a
back
world.
post.
Oh my gosh! And it's a link
Rodrigo.
up.
It's Rodrigo. That's
Oh, it's
Rodrigo.
Rodrigo.
Wrong
But-
Brazilian.
What did I
Game on,
tell
game
you?
on.
What
Lads,
did I
can you
tell
imagine?
you? 2-0 is the most dangerous scoreline.
Can you imagine?
Speaking of scorelines, 2-0.
One eyebrow up for Ancelotti. We're
Anyone
back.
have 1-1? No, I had 2-1.
He's on. Benzema's on.
Is he?
Yeah, he is. Squares it. Rodrigo
just
tapping.
stands
Oh, it's on, lads.
It's a lovely finish.
Oh, he's just so clever.
Oh, Edison.
Wow.
Edison gets sold a bit easy.
That one off the line looks real bad now.
Yeah, it does.
Well, both those
Guys,
chances
we
were
are
the best
in.
of the,
We are in.
among the best of the game.
Ready? We are in extra time now. This is going to be some finish. 6
6
minutes.
minutes.
6 minutes. Anyone need a bathroom break?
Yeah.
I was here for the goal.
This would be.
Oh,
if they
is
take
it.
this to
Now
extra
imagine
time,
how
this would be
imagine
so
what
Real
this is
Madrid.
like. Imagine what the Bernabeu is like. It must be absolutely
Yeah.
buzzing.
Everyone's on their feet.
Ref.
Hey, ref.
Doesn't matter. He's gone anyway.
Oh, this is guys. This is something else. This is something else. They've saved it for the last 10, haven't they? Oh.
That's just so calm from Rodri. He's like, yeah, all right. Relax.
Oh, this is
It's okay.
unreal.
Whipped it in.
Decent.
Back. Where's he going?
Militao's
Flooded
out there
the
now.
box.
This is it. The only
What
thing
are you
is the
doing?
break.
What kind of touch is that? They've got 5 minutes left here.
No, no,
In
no.
them go-
This is bad! This is bad! Oh shit!
We are breaking another couch.
And they got 5 minutes left.
Oh, this is just mad.
This is crazy.
This is just mad. What did I tell you? Go back to the cliche. Take a sip of water.
Oh.
What did I tell you? It was Vinicius.
Was it? I think it
my
was Rodrigo,
God.
wasn't it?
Double.
What a ball that was.
2-0
As if
is the
they've
most
just turned it
dangerous
on in 2
scoreline.
minutes.
Forget your 7-0s.
Yes,
Rodrigo.
Rodrigo.
Guys,
Come on and score
there's-
two.
Rodrigo scored 2 in about 5 minutes.
Guys, there's 5 minutes left.
It's also it's an Asensio header onto Rodrigo. Asensio's going to get the assist there.
This is madness.
This is. Can you imagine the crowd right now?
Oh,
The
it just
sound.
must be
You asked me earlier,
absolutely
This is
buzzing.
unbelievable. This league, this team this season. It just every time you think you've seen everything, every time.
Literally, we were saying it. We were making this point 15 minutes ago that you can't write them off, you can't write them off. But heart of hearts,
Yeah,
no
you
way
don't-
did I give him a
no.
chance. No way.
I
Only
can't
2 minutes
believe.
in, it was an injury time.
Guys,
don't think
this is what I'm saying. It's not even over with Real Madrid yet. This is what they do. They come back and they finish it.
Oh my God.
Rodrigo again.
Oh, what's that?
Saved by
If
they could win this in normal time.
If they win this in normal time, what's the word? Forget PSG's meltdown. This
Yeah.
takes the cake, surely.
Yeah, I mean,
Rodrigo could have had a hat trick in 5 minutes.
PSG must be sitting there going like, "Come on, Madrid, score one more, maybe."
yeah,
Guys,
move the
this is-
spotlight.
what are
Yeah.
they doing? What's happened to City?
Quite calm it down.
No,
if you're
surely
City.
try and win it.
No.
No, you've got to take the.
What,
sting
you
out
want
of it.
another half an hour in this cauldron?
Honestly,
no chance,
I
win
think
it.
they can't get out their own third, let alone half.
What are you doing?
City need to take Benzema.
Tackle.
City need to calm this right down. Bernardo's trying that, bless him. I can't believe what
What a
I've just seen.
semi-final! What a semi-final! I think I
Well
lost my voice.
played. Well played.
Far out.
What is going on? I mean, it was worth the wait, eh, lads?
Yeah, absolutely. Here goes City.
Who's this Foden?
Foden showing his skills.
Oh,
There you go.
here
Goes
comes
Jack.
Grealish. Oh, the referee's
Ref has
getting
a
involved.
touch.
Deflection.
He's just pointed to the heavens.
Fernandinho's going to have a crack.
Oh, that's a free kick, surely.
Yeah. Back we go.
Sins.
We still haven't got to replay that Foden on the line yet.
No! They're playing it early.
Oh my goodness.
Reminiscent of Argentina, England, 98. The exact same position. How's he seen that? Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's not where the foul was, but
Foden
he
slipped.
should do better.
Foden
He should
slipped.
probably score.
Yeah, but he slipped. He
This is
slipped.
it.
This is it. Oh, I mean, you can't blame Foden for that.
No,
but
Well, he was ball watching. He should.
that could have gone anywhere off his shin.
This is.
That would have been tied
What
up.
did we say about the last 5 minutes?
Oh my goodness.
Is Bernardo in?
I'm gonna.
Unbelievable.
Bingo
That was-
update.
Well,
Just
sure.
as
Have we had anything? Has there a Vinicius Benzema link up? No.
Not really. I mean, as I say, I'll take a completed pass, but it looks like we're going to get another half hour to complete this. I don't even know if Pep's got access to
Every
water down
game
there.
I'm
I
here
haven't
for
seen him
goes
go
extra
near a
time.
bottle.
Yeah, mate. I was going to say a bad luck charm, but this has been absolutely unbelievable.
The last game was
So,
brilliant as
that was
well.
Real Madrid too, wasn't it?
How I lose my voice?
You're a Real Madrid good luck charm. Oh, that's poor.
Can we get the audio on for the last 2 minutes? I want to hear that crowd.
The problem is
What
it
a
would
header that
feed
is.
through us. It would be the worst
Yeah.
backdrop that anyone's ever had. Here they go
Look
again.
how much space there still is.
It's really open.
What
Right, is
going
this
on?
live?
Yeah.
We're back to being live? This is mad. Surely you close up shop now.
It's the third appearance of Putney under 11s.
Oh, that's not.
Mate, what are they doing?
That's a horrible challenge. 𝗟𝗏 is not happy, but he did win the ball. Militao. There's a lot of Brazilians on the pitch now. Like a lot.
Yeah, Brazilian nutmeg would have been a good bingo tile, but alas.
What happens here? This is bizarre. The ball just gets given away. That's a great tackle.
That's a good tackle, and that is not.
That's not a good tackle.
That is not a good tackle.
Oh, he's cleaned him up, hasn't he?
It's no worse than a yellow, though, I don't think.
Oh my goodness.
Well, drama, hashtag drama.
Drama hashtag drama. My mum is still telling me to sit up straight. Sorry, mum.
Imagine if
Mum needs to consider the
the
context.
circumstances, yeah. Here goes Zinchenko. Shoot.
Well, it's a good ball.
Corner.
Corner.
Is there time?
She won't give it.
No, it's
surely not.
calling full time. That's the pressure from the home crowd.
Wow.
What a second half.
I'm not sure I can keep going.
I'm kind of just left in the tank.
It's been a long few weeks, hasn't it, Jack?
Look at Pep. Come on, get that water
Get a
bottle.
water
in
bottle, Pep.
Oh, go on.
Well,
Surely now we're going to get extended shots of them doing kind of on-pitch team talks. There must be some water knocking about. Does it take a deflection before it gets
yeah,
to
it flicks off Asensio. It's an Asensio assist, I think.
This is
I'm not
Look
sure how
at
much
Carlo
he knows about
Ancelotti.
it.
He just the coolest guy around, man.
He's just there like, nobody can believe
One
it. It's
eyebrow
just
up, one
absolutely
eyebrow down.
outrageous.
I can't believe that.
I can't
Wow.
believe it. Rodrigo of all people. I still don't get any Wi-Fi down here.
This is just one of those things, isn't it? How long's the break? 5 minutes now before they go again? It's all very quick.
Yeah. It won't be long.
Look at that, 1990 plus one. That's the
1990 plus one from Rodrigo, and he went through again, and I mean it was admittedly harder chance, but he could have had a hat-trick inside added time. That is
it's just all complete madness.
and
there's no De Bruyne on the pitch.
there's no De Bruyne. Well, maybe.
So much. Like,
I can't believe what I'm seeing.
that is like Lazarus levels of back from the dead.
Just when you think they can't push it any further to the brink, can they? If they go through tonight, Liverpool could be 3-0 up in the final, and you wouldn't be writing Real Madrid off until the whistle is blown.
Yeah, it's
at
literally
90.
whistle blown, isn't it? Like, you're at that point. You're like, well, unless this game is over, there is absolutely no chance that I'm writing Real Madrid off. That first goal is really sloppy from a Man City perspective.
It really is.
It's not. You can't let Benzema peel to the back post like that, and you can't let Rodrigo get across you like that.
I'm sorry, Jack. I've lost all focus on this broadcast. I just can't believe what I'm witnessing.
Well, I think
where'd you put it now? By the way, my prediction is still on here.
What did you say? 3-1?
I said 2-2 on the night. No,
You said 3-1.
I said 3-1.
2-2 on the night.
I'd forgotten my prediction, but it is still on.
I said 2-2.
You
So I'm
said
actually
2-2.
also still alive.
You're still on. I'm
I think
still on.
L's
What
out.
was yours,
I think
Ellie?
L's out. L's predictions out. You're 2-0.
Yeah.
But that's okay. We've still got loads of.
I can't believe they've done it. I can't believe this.
It's just heritage.
Football heritage.
Football heritage.
Honestly,
Pedigree.
the UCL has thrown up some great seasons lately.
This has been exceptional. Anyone who knows me will know that I'm a Europa League ultra, and I firmly believe it's the most exciting club competition in the world. But it's taken a real good. It's taken a real good.
Oh, we can take that. Surely,
Surely,
the powers that be.
I think that's got to be
that's
taken.
it.
That's
That
the one.
is
Pep
Beba
sipping
Buzz.
water. That was the one I was
think it was
most
an
worried about.
energy drink actually, but
Yeah, fine.
Was a blue bottle.
Blue bottle. Pep sips his bottle.
we're taking it.
We're taking
It's
it.
on.
So we need
Refs.
Foden to
What's
show
the-
his skills.
And
we need
Vinicius and Benzema link
and
up.
Vinicius to link up. This just when you thought it couldn't get
Just
any more
when it
dramatic.
couldn't get any more exciting.
You thought we were in the
Bingo's
interlude.
back on.
Bingo is back
Bingo
on,
is
ladies
back
and
on.
gentlemen.
This is.
That's the real story of this fixture. The
Anyone
big
want
one.
pens?
At this point, we're staying the
not?
distance. Might as well.
Jeez,
It's just
unbelievable.
so much going on. I've said that about 15 times tonight.
Yeah.
When I started saying it, I meant it as in like it's quite intriguing and there's like lots of like little things and then loads actually happened.
All in that space of last 5 minutes.
17 minutes of chaos. Well,
But it wasn't even.
Liverpool fans
It
watching
was-
this must be really pleased.
Oh, what's this?
Oh no, there's a guy on the
Oh
pitch.
no, with an Albanian
An
flag.
Albania flag, or is it a bullfighting flag?
No, it's definitely Albanian. Is there a Serbian player on the team? What's going on?
I
But
like
you
how
say
they
that
don't show them.
17. I think it's the right thing to do, isn't it? But 17 minutes of chaos. But it wasn't. It was.
show us.
It was.
What do you
It
mean
was 6 or 7 minutes of chaos. City should have put this game to bed after scoring the goal that put them 2 ahead, which I thought was enough to put this game to bed. Grealish goes through twice. The ball hits Foden on the shin. The number of chances they had last week. It's 5-5 on aggregate.
There's 10 goals. 10 goals been saved across two legs.
Across
Let's
180 minutes.
Should we get a bingo up?
Yes, let's get a bingo update,
Go on
Jack.
then, we're up.
Here we go. We're
2
4
to
down,
go.
2 to go. We've got half an hour to do it.
Still not a line complete.
Still not a line, but
just shows how
well,
end to end this game has been.
no one line can get a grip
Here
of the bingo
goes
card.
Vinicius.
Anyway,
Is this it?
enough of that.
Benzema!
Oh! But that is a
That's
link
the
up. That is a link up. So
We're on.
Benzema and Vinicius done. Foden showing his skills.
Also, this is not vibes by Edison. You don't want that.
that should be
going into the
Benzema
extra.
Benzema usually finishes that, doesn't he?
I mean, yeah, I was going to say that's actually disappointing from both
If
involved.
Man
there.
City don't get through it, like we.
This is madness. If you're a Liverpool fan, you're loving this for so many reasons. Like, one, you might not have City in the final. Two, they're tired ahead of their Premier League game at the weekend.
Extra half hour, a day later.
A day later.
But
It's.
I think Pep loses his mind if they don't go to the final this time.
But he should. Like, they've been so much the better team across both legs.
Oh,
Maybe less so this one, but they should have seen
It's
it
too
home.
funny. And also, a lot of Liverpool fans want their revenge for 2018 on Real Madrid. Even Salah's come out and said, "I want Madrid."
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, also, why wouldn't he say that? Because
Well,
they're
there's revenge
the
on the
worst team of the
That's
two.
true.
Like, I know that's not a disrespectful thing to say. It's just they are the least technically gifted of the two sides. Let's take the bingo update, shall we?
Here comes Camavinga.
There you go.
Yeah, it's
One
good
to
to
go.
go. Five tiles done. Benzema goes down. But
Penalty. Penalty. This is unbelievable. This game, I love this game. This is mad.
Does he Panenka it?
Do we break the couch if they score?
Deliberately slam the couch.
Are they going to look at it? Is it a pen?
They don't overturn it. They never overturn these kind of decisions. do
Why
they?
not? You'd hope that if it's not the right decision, of course.
But when it's not clear cut and these don't tend to be.
Unbelievable. This club, have they come back in every single fixture?
It
It is a pen,
It's
yeah.
just a pen. Yeah, it's
Oh,
a stone wall pen.
He does.
Nah.
He does maybe get the ball.
It doesn't get overturned. It's one of those that maybe.
Oh, no, it's not. It's pen. It's pen. It's pen.
Yeah.
100%.
2 Benzema Panenkas in one Champions League
Benzema
semi-final.
has-
That's a good point.
But has missed a penalty this season. Against Celta Vigo, yeah. He did score 2 other ones in the same game.
What? Does anything shake this man?
He looks bored. No, he's still shot from his spell at
He's
Everton.
thinking about the cigar.
He's like, oh, the
Nothing
things
registers
I've
anymore.
things I've seen. He's dead behind the
I think
eyes.
this worries me. Try Watford away with the toffees.
Yeah.
Edison's
Wow.
thinking.
This is loads. This is loads.
Down
This
with
is
away
something
goals,
else.
by the way. We wouldn't have this. We wouldn't have this extra half-hour spell with away goals. I take it all back.
Yeah, honestly, I'm telling you, I was in your boat. I was against it until
Till it happened, and then it was good.
this happens.
Yeah. Like, oh, okay, fair enough. We were wrong. Hands up.
Every now and then you got to give him credit, man.
Here we go.
Here we go. Benzema.
I think he's missing this.
No chance.
Why don't you?
There it is. Benzema scores.
They're crying in the stands.
He joins a very vibey club, by the way.
What's the
Only
club?
3 players have ever scored in both the first, before him, in the first and second legs of the quarters and the semis. Those players were Fernando Morientes back in his Monaco days.
Oh, wow.
Edin Dzeko at Roma. Oh, there's one more. It's Neymar. Neymar Jr. at Barcelona. Now Karim Benzema.
Cool
Vibes.
pen. That's a good pen as well.
What do you think Pep's like? He is going to be so angry.
He's going to be furious.
Well, he leaves
Also,
Foden on the
Ancelotti,
pitch.
and if Real Madrid do go through, Ancelotti will become the first manager ever to be in 5 Champions League finals. He'll go outright
Wow.
top of that list.
So how many has Benzema got for this season?
Oh, like 1,000.
A million goals.
He doesn't know what. He's going to scull that bottle.
This is madness.
Wow, we do need Foden to show his skills now.
And that will have the evening peaked.
What is it called? Typical sitter?
Oh, he's about to unleash Raheem the Dream.
All right. Like a
Boy from Brent.
Why wouldn't you at this stage?
Boy
But
from...
for who?
So maybe bring on Gundogan.
Do you take off one of the players you put on? Do you take off Fernandinho?
Don't know. Bernardo, maybe?
Because those late substitutions in normal time were to save the game, and now he's got to chase it.
Yeah, I agree. Corner ball. Yeah, here we go. Well, we've got a tweet from Real Madrid. They're
That LiveScore as well.
We should stress we haven't got that tweet from Real Madrid.
They tweeted out LiveScore that. This is what's happened today. And just at the same time that they made their logo, the LiveScore logo. That's going to become funny again at some point.
Deep again. They're definitely trying something, aren't they, with these corners?
Yeah, but I don't know what it is, and it hasn't worked all game. Like, there's one thing trying something, there's another thing just keep staying on with it without any joy, success, or concept of it coming off.
Can this be blamed on Pep, this one, for overthinking? You know,
I don't think so. He played the lineup that we expected.
Yeah,
there was no like rogue decisions.
What more could he have done? His team should have been through. The Grealish double chance at the end should have.
I'm not sure. I'm willing to blame Grealish.
No, I'm not blaming him, but that much territory, progress, opportunity, whatever you want to call it.
But you know what? As I told you earlier, I think some Liverpool fans might be disappointed. I told you about my friend.
Yeah.
Big Liverpool fan, and he told me last week, you know what? I actually want City to win the Champions League, and I was, what do you want about it? He said, because I think once they finally win it, Pep's got it off his back and he's going to leave and let us dominate the league. Because Liverpool, against any other side, would have won multiple leagues by now because of Guardiola's incredible ability to constantly win the Prem. He's so sick of them doing it. He's like, let them have a Champions League. We've got 6 of them. We'll win plenty more. Just get him out of the Prem. I want him out.
Get him out.
He's proper galaxy braining this.
Yeah, proper like thinking
long-term thinking.
He's like, listen, if he wasn't in the league, if he wasn't coaching City, we would have had at least 2 more titles in his opinion, let alone in the future. But as long as Pep stays...
No, it goes to the corner. We have got a Benzema touch map. It's been
put it back in.
Oh, Fernandinho. Benzema's done the whole "I'm everywhere" thing.
Yeah, and look, and compare that with the Mahrez touch map from earlier, right? Who had, admittedly, at an earlier point in the game, only 2 touches in the box. He's been everywhere in that box, in and around that box, and he had chances, didn't he? What we called quarter chances earlier in the first half, and those are showing up there as well. It's about time that he's registered there, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's it. Also, like the cool and calm of that penalty is just somewhat ridiculous. I mean, I suppose when you're having this kind of season, it's kind of second nature in some ways to just be like, this is mine, don't worry about it. For Rodri.
Fresh trim.
Yeah. It's not the Mason Mount trim from weeks back. I mean business trim.
Yeah.
But lots to like. Oh, that's really poor.
Cancelo on the right. It's just not. It's a different beast.
Well, he's trying to come inside, and that actually means off the pitch. Like, he's trying to cut back inwards.
Do Madrid try and finish this off? Or do they hold the line? This is really crazy when you consider with 10 minutes left, they needed 2 goals. They're giving them 3.
In the 88th minute, they needed 2 goals.
Oh yeah.
What minute did they score? They've played about 10 minutes of football, and then what? When was the pen? 96.
This is amazing.
Like in about 10-15 minutes of football, they've scored 3 goals and potentially seen themselves through to the final of the Champions League. Obviously, a long way to go. If the game's taught us nothing else, it's that 20 minutes is a long time.
Mm. Yeah, we shouldn't be writing anyone off.
No, but
But do City recover from this mentally?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Flip the tables, and you think Real Madrid can always come back. But when have City been in this position? They don't come from behind anywhere near as often.
No, that's true. I mean, they were 3-0 down in the FA Cup final. I know they didn't win that game, but they pulled it back from a game that was dead and buried. And had opportunities to level sense tie. But We'll see. It's a big test of character. You know, we were talking about earlier about the fact that, you know, if City got to the final, down the route that they've got to, it would have been its pedigree. Well, here you go. How much have you got in the...
Well, yeah, this is it. I mean, if they do go through from this position, that's kind of sterner stuff material, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh! He's looking for it, isn't he?
They tackle each other.
He's definitely looking for it.
What is going on? Where have Madrid got this
we're on the
second
wrong
win
way.
from?
I forgot we're supposed to be looking for Foden showing his skills. Good tackle, Raheem. Was he given a free kick for that? That is harsh.
But I don't really know for what. He won the ball.
He won the ball as cleanly as could be. Okay, yeah. Maybe slightly over the ball.
He's a little bit scissory.
Yeah.
Scissory of that.
Well, I think he's incredibly unlucky, though.
Yeah, he is.
And, wow, this is quite something. No, there's absolutely not a penalty. No chance.
Yeah, no way.
Was that if Grealish goes after the ball, he gets it. Instead, he's turned around to claim the penalty. This is...
I love it.
I like this is a
I'm
studio kind of
speechless.
stunned into silence.
Yeah, I can't.
Like,
My brain is completely fried.
this has
And
been...
we got another, 15 minutes plus to get through.
I just can't get my head around like what. Mad. And the same thing happened with the Chelsea game.
Yeah. You've seen some quite
drama,
remarkable
yeah.
things. So
It's just mad.
yeah, it's just look at the crowd. Look at how brilliant this is. 𝗟𝗶𝘃𝗲𝗪 coming on. You never know your luck.
Big Betis fan.
Yeah, well, Betis come through the academy, didn't he?
Hector told me he calls him before every derby. And then said, you know how big this game is, you have to win. Love that.
They must have had a great time at Arsenal together.
Man.
Two little 𝗟𝗃𝗃𝗃
Yeah.
kicking around in North London. Who's coming off? They're bringing...
No, they've gone for the free kick, quick free kick. And think about if Foden had scored that goal.
Yeah.
If Foden had scored that goal,
We wouldn't be here.
The goal line clearance.
Foden has just done a Maradona turn around two players in the middle.
Switch it, Jack. What are you doing?
We'll revisit the bingo at half time.
Revisit the bingo at half time, yeah. That was maybe a thing.
That was maybe a thing. Here we go. What are you doing?
To be fair, good calm. Great power slide.
Has anyone seen Marcelo just like doing whatever he wants on the sideline?
Yeah, this is what he does.
He's orchestrating the crowd.
Marcelo, I think, is now just like... He overtook Paco Gento, didn't he, as the most decorated Madrid player of all time. Which means he now basically has the freedom of Madrid.
As in the most trophies.
Yeah.
Really, Marcelo?
Yeah.
Where did he come from? Straight from Fluminense or something,
I think you're about right.
Football heaven.
From football heaven.
Direct.
The amount of times I got called Marcelo in Turkey,
Really?
and it was just mad. I got Mo Salah, Marcelo, and there was one more. Oh, when I wear the headband.
He's pulling Benzema.
You're kidding. That is not a clever idea, because penalties are still... What, is he really?
Interesting.
I wouldn't be doing that. I think...
With 17 minutes to go?
No, absolutely not, man. He's still got pens. He's the...
Maybe they're planning to just play on the counter. And also they do have the extra player on up front, right? So
What do you mean?
That's true, they did go all
they
guns
brought
out
Asensio on
blazing.
to that basically for a midfielder.
They need to
so they
rebalance
went
in the
away.
same way that City did.
Yeah. I don't know. Has Benzema come off before full time in the last few games?
He normally plays, but I suppose he obviously doesn't play 120 minutes every week.
Oh, and they've just shown the corner flag 13. The only team to win 13 European Cups.
Yeah. We've got a tweet on Benzema, so we'll have a look at that.
That can't be real.
Nice.
Is that actually true?
And Wolves have been profligate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a big goal for Karim Benzema, actually, because you know what that 43rd goal means? He's
Ahead of Wolves?
Well, he's equal to Alexander Mitrovic's total for the year, so that's important. They're having a real good battle, a real good ding-dong, these two.
Real good ding-dong. Is that what the bingo?
The two best number 9s in world football having a right go in it.
There's one for the parallel bingo, isn't it?
Ding-dong.
The Mitro Benzema battle.
Just
they
put
want
it
a
in the
handball there. I wonder if that gets looked at. They wanted handball on the City defence. Raheem on the break. Good tackle.
That crowd is just on their feet.
Nacho's on the armband. What a scene. Who would have thought
Amazing.
that? Nacho captaining Real Madrid in...
Asensio on Nacho.
Oh, it's harsh. It'd be harsh, wouldn't it?
It's quite clever to duck it.
Well, he flicks it, so they might be like...
That is a superb tackle.
Your F wave play on, so I think they were just like, get on with it.
Yep.
You want Grealish running at players, like...
Good ball. Fernandinho on the edge. Dinks it.
I think
Raheem at the back post. Foden. Oh, I should have
he's
left
hit
it.
it the wrong way. Be careful there. Pass it.
Oh, what plays? Real good stuff. Nice intricate football, good defending.
Yeah, they've kept
Everyone's
it alive.
having a nice time.
Yeah, all good.
Here goes Bernardo doing bits.
Raheem again on the right. Bernardo keeps it. It's just
Brilliant.
crowd them
That is
out.
a brilliant challenge for Cameron Wenger. He's been so good since he came on.
There was just no one
Absolutely
there.
exceptional. He did this in the Chelsea game, made such a difference. He's been
The
phenomenal.
way he
tonight as
runs,
well.
he almost glides along the pitch.
Oh,
It's-
yeah.
He's got
Silk.
silky. How much did Ren sell him for? 35?
30, yeah, I think it was 38 million euro.
Okay. Jesus, that's a bargain in the bigger scheme of things.
Just a very, very good footballer. They're in for 𝗟𝗏 now as well, so
Who?
another Aurélien 𝗟𝗏 at Monaco, another young talent coming out of Liga. Liverpool won him as well.
Who's that guy at Red Bull everyone's talking about?
Adeyemi.
No, Adeyemi, what's his first name?
Karim.
At
Karim
Salzburg.
Adeyemi. He's in
Salzburg,
Salzburg.
yeah.
Adeyemi, that's it.
Yeah, he's good as well. Very young. Very quick.
Yeah,
and speaking
very
of
quick.
young, up and coming,
What a save! Oh! Fernandinho.
I'm telling you, it's like Man City are not meant to win this tournament. Like, how many things can go wrong?
It's a great header from
Great
Foden.
header, incredible save,
Great save.
Fingertip.
Oh, he's unlucky. Yeah, he's a little bit unlucky.
Oh, man, I need to text my Man City mates.
Oh my goodness.
No, at this point you gotta say.
I mean, it
Madrid
comes
have
in
won.
quick.
Madrid have won.
That's it.
Guys,
How's
that's
that
it.
enough?
I've said that. No, I had enough. That's it. If you don't score from that position.
Oh
What
my
happened to
goodness.
the Dortmund youngster who was up and coming? Everyone's gone on about Yusuf.
Moukoko.
Not is it Moukoko?
Yeah,
Really young.
yeah.
He started like 15. Is he?
Yeah. He's just still
Is he doing bits?
very young.
Yeah.
And he was, because he broke through at 15, he's still like
This was
17
behind,
and
yeah.
getting minutes. So he just put a few off the bench. We are at half time of extra time. Manchester City were leading or drawing with Real Madrid for 183 minutes of this time. 183 minutes over two legs. That's mad.
Do you want another
That's a
one?
bit. Do you remember the stat that reminds me of? It's the stat about how long Leicester were in the top four for
Yeah,
last season.
yeah.
And then obviously they fell out in the last.
Yeah, on the last.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Go on, Lily.
no, I don't know the words. I'm trying to make some up. How do you explain what we've just seen? As you said,
You can't. I mean, there's lots of people trying to put it into numbers, if not words. Karim Benzema scored 10 goals in the Champions League knockout stages alone this season, the joint most by a player in a single campaign, along with CR7 in 2016-17. And obviously, if they go through, he's got another 90 minutes to get another.
So 10, did you say?
10 in the knockout stages.
In the knockout stage.
Alone. Yeah.
Yeah, there's loads going on.
This-
That's going to be my new catchphrase.
There's loads going on.
There's loads
Here on the
going on.
LiveScore
Here on the
Watchalong,
LiveScore Watchalong.
there is loads
going
going
on.
on.
That's all I can bring myself to say. People are really,
The people are in tears.
yeah.
There's still 15 minutes left.
Oh, how about this for a stat though, lads? This is surely better than anything else. Real did not have a shot on target for 90 minutes.
No, I'm not having it.
That's got
I'm not
twice
having
in
it.
injury time.
I'm not having that.
BBC Sport tweeted it.
I know
No
you said,
shots on target for 90 minutes.
I know
That's
you
a
said
full football game.
you said you just want Pep to get it, but come on, surely you got to admit this is kind of funny.
Oh no, I'm not. I don't find it that funny.
It's just so the greatest coach of our time just can't do it, with
Can't do
or
it.
Bayern for that matter.
Yeah. But there was none of this tomfoolery at Bayern that I remember anyway.
Yeah, but
This
typical
is
City,
silly.
everyone forgets that, man. Even the 2012 season, we all remember Aguero, but we forget that QPR were one above the relegation zone with
Yeah.
10 men and winning.
Yeah.
This is what City do. They shoot themselves in the foot.
We forgot to just clarify there in half time that I think we are calling the bingo complete, which we can celebrate full time
Are
whatever
we?
the result.
Foden had skills?
Well, I didn't actually see
he
it.
did
but-
also do a delicious header.
And there was a decent header as well.
Yeah.
There it is. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen,
What's this?
ladies and gentlemen, we have finally at the
Completed a bingo
I think
card.
7th attempt of the Watchalong.
Yeah, it was very, very good. Here we go.
Completed
Jesus.
the bingo, ladies and
What
gentlemen.
was a flare?
Imagine if it
That
was
would
a
have been
flare.
a bit trickier. Anyway, there's half an extra time left to go.
I can't wait for you to have to clean that up.
Yeah.
You don't mention it. Anything goes tonight.
Is that the first time in the series?
First time in the series.
First
First
on the
time
show.
ever, yeah.
Oh wow.
Just madness.
It only took 106 minutes. Foden's fuming.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair to Foden, he's just been given a foul against him. It just fully wasn't a foul, but
Really?
there's lots going on.
I'm
I
Jack.
was really hoping
I'm Jack Collins, and there's lots going on.
I really hope that was going to land, and it just,
So I'm
it
just
was
saying
just
that
like there's just my head's gone.
I perforated
heart's
my
gone.
eardrums with the flare.
Yeah, you can't hear anything.
I'm Jack Collins, and there's lots going on. You just see it on like a mattress out.
I think because it's such a flexible phrase, it could mean anything.
Yeah, it could mean literally. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is
Brilliant.
it. It's all about having non-sustainable catchphrases.
Non-sustainable.
You want them very short. Like,
Degradable catchphrases.
yeah, I mean, that's it. You want them to break down. You don't want to be bad for the environment.
There were probably City fans who booked flights around the 75th, 80th minute, surely.
Yeah, and
got-
quite reasonably so as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, it's not over yet, Ellie.
If you're a City fan,
oh, will you stop?
yeah, get out. If you're a City fan and you lose tonight, who do you support? The final. Who do you want to?
Real Madrid.
Ooh, yeah, probably.
Do you?
Real Madrid,
They've just crushed your dreams. In
Yeah,
probably
but
the
you just
most.
got to.
Yeah, but they
haven't
crush
you?
everyone's street. It's nothing personal, is it? It's Real Madrid.
Yeah. Let's pull up an XG timeline, shall we? Shall we have a look at this? Because
Off!
Wow.
Off!
Wow.
Have a look at that. They have pulled away without having a shot on target in 90 minutes.
yeah, that is quite something. That is steep. Those 3 goals in a very short amount of time.
Yeah. I mean, it mirrors.
You assume that direct line straight up is off the line from Jack Grealish.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I wonder. Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder whether the shin touch counts as an effort.
What about the one off the post?
There's been so many.
It's been.
I mean, the Courtois save. Yeah.
Is that Jesus Vallejo?
I've never seen that man in my life.
Wow, that's a name I did not think I'd be mentioning today. That is him. That guy's happy. Look at this guy.
Vallejo.
Wow, that would be quite something. That man has had some career.
Who did he play for before this?
He's if I'm not mistaken, and
You
I'm,
really are.
I'm after the right man. He has been on loan at Granada. We saw him at Wolves very briefly. Where they basically made absolutely no impact.
Always on loan?
whatsoever. Yeah,
He's a bit like that
He's
guy
been
from.
He was a youngster, and he came through, and he was quite highly rated, and he went to Granada, and they were just like, nah.
Who was the guy?
Granada were like, we don't want this man, please send him back.
So
And
Wolves
then,
took him.
Back he is. He goes back in.
Who was the bloke at QPR? He was an absolute journeyman, always on loan from Real Madrid.
Oh, Danny Pereiro.
No, Esteban something. I think it was.
Oh.
Esteban.
Yeah,
he's
I
literally
know.
been everywhere. He was at QPR for some time.
Yeah.
So I think it starts with G. We're gonna
We have to look him up.
How do you guys have internet? I have no internet in here.
There's nothing wrong with the internet.
There's nothing wrong with the
James
internet.
always tells me.
Yeah, there's nothing.
I
wrong
just
with
don't get
Also,
anything.
also, Ellie, don't have the internet.
Yeah,
Famously, equally. Oh,
You need to sort out your phone network, lads. What were we googling? Esteban who?
Esteban something.
Esteban
Real
QPR.
Madrid.
Granero.
Granero, that's it.
Granero.
I knew it was a
Yes,
G.
he was everywhere.
He was. How many teams was he on loan?
Let me get him up.
He was always somewhere, and they always just come back to QPR.
what a man.
So yeah, came through at Real Madrid, Getafe, QPR, Real Sociedad, Espanyol, and Marbella most recently.
Did he go back to QPR?
Marbella.
again?
Yeah, Marbella.
That's quite something.
He was at QPR for 2 seasons.
Okay.
It was when they're spending a load of money on
Yeah.
people like Chris Samba and
Yep.
Wayne
And,
Routledge.
Jisung Park.
Yes, yeah.
If I list the names, you won't believe it.
Rio
Sinwar,
Ferdinand.
Sandro.
Yeah.
There was some. Well, I mean, we peeled up that picture of Danny Pereiro at QPR recently, and
Yeah.
it is quite something to behold.
And do you guys remember who was in goals?
Was it Paddy
Caesar.
Kenny?
Julio Caesar.
Oh,
Straight
yeah.
from Inter
They had,
Champions League into QPR.
Yeah.
There you go. Who thought Rangers would get so much airtime on this?
Yeah.
On this
That's true.
LiveScore watch along.
Is City coming back into this? I've been googling Esteban Granero because there's nothing wrong with the internet.
That's what's great about this show. We start with Man City, Real Madrid, and the next thing you know, we're talking about Marbella.
To be fair, people were warned. I did tweet earlier that we were going to end up talking about 𝗟𝗶𝘃𝗲𝗪 ceramic tile manufacturers on shirts, and the lack of the white wall, for a better word, behind the Real Madrid goal. We have talked about one of those three things. We've talked about some pretty strange things in between.
It's got a bit wild.
They got a free kick here. I'll take it quick, will they?
Yeah, I'd say so. At this point, you're not lumping it into the box. Well, no,
really?
They are.
They are. 10 minutes to go. I don't know. I mean, this is a team with 5 minutes to go in normal time. They could have taken it to the corner,
and instead they were whipping him in.
Yeah, with about 5 or 6 people in the box.
Now, Fernandinho did take that ball eventually.
Eventually, he did, but you know, it's a game of margins. Who knows?
6-5, guys.
Margin call.
Yes. Yeah, I keep looking at that scoreline, and my mind blows a little more every time. Back post again.
You predicted 3-1, didn't you?
I did, Ellie. I did. I forgot about it about 15 minutes ago, but I have been reminded that I did predict 3-1.
You'll be the second person to correctly predict a scoreline.
We need another party popper for that.
Yeah, I don't think we have any.
No, we don't.
Real Madrid are really good at
football.
Well, no, they're really good at
There's lots of things going on.
whipping up the crowd.
Yeah.
There we go. 𝗟𝗶𝘃𝗲𝗪 and Lucas Vázquez.
Lucas Vázquez. Who was he? That's a blast in the past.
No, he's just always been at Real Madrid.
Yeah.
He reinvented himself as a right back. That was interesting. I think he pulls off Vinicius now, would be my suggestion. Oh, really good.
Oh, that was almost genius. How come Marcelo can't get on the pitch?
He actually famously not that good at defending, so they're like, maybe leave him off. Also, Mendy is just excellent, so I think they're just like, all right, crack on. Oh, that's so poor.
I think Real Madrid will have a chance on the break here in the next 8 minutes.
That would upset your scoreline picks.
It would, but at this point, you know, why not have a 12th goal in this tie?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Can you remember a better two-legged Champions League tie in recent times?
I mean, yeah, there's been a few.
In the semi-finals?
Ajax Tottenham, mate.
Remontada, perhaps?
Yeah, but in terms of consistent
not in the
entertainment,
semi-finals, but the remontada.
Fine, yeah, but in terms of consistent entertainment for the duration of the 180 minutes or 210 minutes as this will be.
Yeah, but the first.
Yeah, there was 70 minutes of draw.
Yeah,
and I don't mean dross in like it was a bad game.
You were calling it a chess match.
Man City Tottenham of 2019.
Yeah, but
Ajax Tottenham, that was quarters.
Liverpool Barca.
Yeah, Liverpool Barca obviously is
Ajax Tottenham. If you really break that down, it makes no sense that Tottenham went through.
But these are all incredible comebacks in relatively late stages or against all odds. These have been going. This has been a ding dong back and forth for 2 hours.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's been an incredible game.
Yeah.
Like those ties are all, they've swung massively from one team being in the driving seat. And don't get me wrong, this has done that as well. But these are swung. I'm just watching the name graphics go back and forth. It's been a long night for the gallery.
It's been a long night for everyone.
It has been a long night.
No one was expecting this.
I can't remember what I was saying. Let's just watch the last 7 minutes.
There's a lot going on, mate. I think that's the main thing to remember.
Oh, I can't wait till this press conference. More than you could believe. He's gonna really, maybe he'll be like,
that was
really
what? Jason Statham.
He looks like a Catalan Jason Statham.
Oh dear.
It's more that he just.
I feel like Real Madrid have made about 20.
Well, these two have been stood on the touchline for about 10 minutes.
Exactly. Yeah, they are.
We were talking about Granero before when we saw these guys first.
Granero's gone back to Real Madrid since.
He's coming on.
Yeah. What are they talking about?
Oh, no, he's literally like, get off.
Yeah. So these shirts stain easily. Everyone's got a stained shirt for Real Madrid.
Yeah. It's quite a cool pattern though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It must be quite difficult for shirt sponsors to reinvent all white year on year.
But they've done well this season, particularly.
The blue and orange is quite a nice touch.
Yeah, it's a really nice touch. I'm loath to support a Real Madrid kit, but wow, it's nice.
There have been some nice ones. The black with the blue, the light blue, the black with teal kind of
I think so.
accents.
Yeah, that was lovely. Yeah. No, they've done well. Not such a fan of the away kits, but the white's such a nice colour. Spurs have got a great kit this year, speaking of white. Yeah.
I can't believe Sam Ty is a Granada fan, and I remember him speaking at like genuine length about the fact that he didn't want Jesus Vallejo anywhere near his Granada team, who were at the time like 17th. Like, he was like, don't let this man play. And the man has just come on in a Champions League semi-final second leg against probably the technically best team in the world.
With
Like,
a 1 goal margin still in it.
Sam's
It's
a
not like
Granada
it's done.
fan.
Yeah.
Where do you get? How does that work?
I don't know.
Yeah.
He, whenever anyone asks him, he just says born and bred. So, I'm pretty sure he just went there on holiday once and thought it was nice.
Tony Adams was the sporting director for a bit. Maybe that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that was loads of it. That's Valverde, by the way. He's the most energy on the pitch is the man that's been on for 115 minutes. The mad Uruguayan.
This isn't over yet, lads. I think City will have a chance before this game is out.
Really?
If this goes to pens, by the way, after all the subs that we've had, it's just going to be like it's a lottery.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, going back to the away goals chat, I'm amazed that we haven't had pens yet in this year's Champions League.
Yeah, but I'm surprised Ancelotti took off Benzema. Like, they've won the league. He's got a month's rest before the final. You want him for those pens. If this goes to pens, he's going to regret it. And we're just going forward now. City seem to have been. They're not the same, are they?
their heads. I think their heads have gone. My head would have gone, to be fair. So I can't blame them.
But they're in the cauldron, right?
Walker's off, so there's no leader really.
I mean, that's why Fernandinho came on, I think, to try and provide a little bit of leadership. I don't think there's any surprise that with Walker injured, you bring on Fernandinho just to try and cool things off a little bit. But
Alaba's loving this. He's just like, he's done well.
I think back to that opening half hour last week, and it should have, like, I can't believe that we're now sat here at 6-5 on aggregate, and it's Real Madrid who are the team in front, let alone it being 6-5. But Real Madrid,
maybe it doesn't even need to go back to the first half an hour last week. You can go back to the 85th minute, and I can't believe we're sitting here with Real Madrid, the team in front on aggregate.
Fine, but they weren't playing like they could have been 5 ahead, which they did in the first half hour last week.
What was that?
But they've done this to PSG. They've done that to Chelsea. You absolutely just. They will not die, will they? The cockroaches.
not
They are
die.
the
cockroaches
cockroaches
of European
the Champions
football.
League cockroaches.
I'll second that.
This Real Madrid side will not die.
Yeah, Jack Grealish is
That
not.
has a terrible pass.
terrible pass, but he slipped anyway. So up
dear
in the air.
me.
There's your leadership. Oh, Bernardo.
I think
Bernardo's still the best player on the
Yeah,
pitch.
that's why they just took him out. That's why. Who was that who took him out?
Oh, it's
Asensio.
Ceballos. Ceballos has looked at him and been like, you're not having it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a free kick. Oh, he's not giving it.
I'm not sure that that's a goal kick.
It's like 2 half fouls, isn't it? You get
He's
sandwiched. Yeah, that gets given normally.
Yeah, absolutely.
That should
100%.
that
I
should
love
be a
seeing
free kick.
players care this much. It's like watching a basketball game. Everyone's standing up.
on
no
the
one says
on
so.
the benches.
I love that, man.
We're in game 7 here, mate.
Look at Benzema,
We're
man.
right in game 7.
Look at Benz. What a legend. I hope they lose the final, but what a legend.
I mean, if you're Liverpool though, obviously on paper you're looking at City being the tougher opposition,
But they've also they don't have the experience of a final like Madrid do. You know what I mean?
I think if I was a Liverpool fan before tonight, I would have preferred City. But on this evidence, and
Sorry,
should have
you
known
would have
this.
preferred Madrid or
Madrid,
City?
you mean?
Sorry, I would have preferred Madrid. But
Yeah.
on this evidence,
The cockroaches.
they just won't
Yeah.
die.
Is that ever?
Patrice Evra and
It was a bizarre little cutaway that was.
That was really quite strange. Wow,
probably
this
doing
is-
Spanish
also, like,
TV.
how quick did that second half go?
Yeah.
Like-
yeah.
I looked up a
we
minute ago
spent
and
a lot of it
13.
talking about Esteban Granero.
Yeah, that is true.
Time flies when you're remembering QPR's.
Time flies when you're
There's lots
enjoying
going on.
QPR nostalgia.
Yeah.
Says the Fulham
Touch
fan in
from
the room.
Foden.
Yeah. Oh, guys.
Surely this
here we
game has
go.
not got another
Twist.
moment. Surely.
Okay, here we go.
Right then. This is it.
15
Now
seconds
or
to go.
never.
Grealish on the left.
Runs it through.
He's got corner. He must have got
He has won a corner.
Guys.
Wow. Is it Edison in the
Edison
box?
time? Can you imagine?
It just can't, surely,
and
no?
he's his neck tattoo.
3 minutes. That's decent for a 15-minute half. That's pretty good.
That's a lot of time added on.
Where is he?
He's not there.
Really?
Really?
What's he arguing about?
He wants to put someone on.
Let's put Ake on for the corner. They've taken it early.
It's cleared.
They've been terrible off corners today.
Oh!
No one there.
What was that?
Still another 2 minutes. Real Madrid scored 2 in that time.
That is true. But this isn't being taken to at least 1 minute 30. Like, this is going to take a minute to take.
Look at him. He's fucking fuming.
I can't believe it's happened again.
Fuming. What is it? I can't believe you've done this. That means
yeah, I can't believe you've done this.
I can't believe you've done this. It's one of my favourites.
It's just remarkable. He has taken 30 seconds to take this goal kick. Like a full 30 seconds.
That's genius.
The ball went out at 25 seconds past into the injury time. And it's now 1
The ball
minute.
boys aren't going to give him the ball back, are they?
No. And rightly so. That's exactly what you want from your ball boys.
Well played.
Who was it who briefed the ball boys before an important game recently?
It's Jose Mourinho, wasn't it?
Was it
With
Mourinho?
the quick throw for Tottenham.
Jose
He
Mourinho
celebrated
became a
with the
ball boy.
But didn't he have it? No. Recently, someone had a discussion with them. Oh, Simeone, I think.
No, okay, yeah.
They actually sat them down, all the ball boys beforehand, and said, "You've got to roll in this game."
Carry. What are you doing? Carry it.
90 seconds. Surely there's nothing left in this game.
Where is he going with that?
That is a very much a rugby kick for touch, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're like, just kick for possession. Just kick for territory. Don't worry about possession.
I can't believe Edison
Go
isn't
wide, yeah.
just inside the centre circle.
Also, Bernardo has been the first player back for City for quite some time now.
Quarterback.
He is literally playing quarterback.
They've got to get it in, though.
Right.
Well played.
There it is. Out to Cancelo.
Here we go, guys. Look, watch Foden.
Grealish
Foden
peeling
is,
away. Not a great
They
ball.
just don't know what to do with it.
No, because City don't. The thing is with this is that if City had stopped I know it's like obviously the natural thing to do is just get the ball into the areas where it might be most dangerous. But because City don't ever really play like this, it's completely pointless because they don't know what to do in those areas. Like they'd be better off. City would be better off continuing to try what they were trying before and being patient and probing. But it doesn't look great.
I love him, but I also love.
How has
I love
Carlo
that he says
Ancelotti
something.
done this? He's gamed Pep.
Pep's got a punch colour in his RIP face. This is, guys, we have watched.
That's it. He's
No,
called
you
it
can't
10
call
seconds
it.
early.
That's a bit weird.
That is weird.
That is a bit. Yeah, that's a bit sus.
Look at Pep. Hey, I'm gonna kill you later.
Whistle is sus.
Yeah, whistle's a bit sus.
Final whistle was a bit AFCON there.
Yeah.
Bit AFCON.
Talk about an anticlimax.
Wow, that is. Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, lots has gone on.
It's official. I'm buying the shirt.
Can confirm, lots has gone on. I mean, that's a.
What, are you supposed to like now chair a quite relaxed, contemplative, respectful
What can
panel?
you say?
Nothing. There's nothing left to say. It's been a
We've just
mad
watched one of the
game.
most ridiculous games in Champions League history. Off the back of one of the most ridiculous games in Champions League history last week. Real Madrid are in the final. They will play Liverpool in Paris.
Sorry, I've just seen Jack Grealish with his bobbiness. He looks about 10 years older. He's aged. Edison regrets this game more than the tattoo on his neck.
Let's have a little look at the match momentum.
Bring a chart up because I can't describe it with words.
There's a lot of white on that match. There's a
But
lot
look,
of white on there. for Man
the
City.
key, obviously, the key point here is from 80 odd minutes to what was 95, 96 if you take it from full time, and that's what Real Madrid have done here. That they've won this game in 15 minutes.
It is the world's greatest smash and grab once again.
Up there.
But I wouldn't even say they were under the cosh when City. You know, you
Yeah,
look
I
at all
suppose.
those white bars from City, all that southward white shape. They weren't. They didn't have loads of clear-cut opportunities. There was the Bernardo one in the first half. I think on balance they probably deserved to be ahead as we ticked into the 90th minute, but they just switched it on.
Nuts. Absolutely nuts. No. I suppose this is
I'm
football.
shaking my head. I feel like
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
it.
I've got a
Like,
bit
there
of
are
a headache.
certain games that leave you speechless, and that's okay. It's not okay
Carlo.
when you're on a watch-along,
But
but
how often does this tournament do it to us? You know, like
yeah. Why would you change the format of this tournament?
No way.
No, I know.
It's just brilliant.
Let's take a look at these predictions.
Yes,
James,
let's take a look at these predictions.
Let's let
Do we
you
have
have
to?
your moment.
Here they are.
There it is, James Lorenzo 3-1. Also after, so what you've done is you've come in as a late call-up, you've done the bingo card and got the prediction right. It's about as good as it gets, really. Like that
Thank
is.
you for having me.
That's a substitute appearance like Rodrigo's.
Look, guys, look at this. 1991-95.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They won it in less than 10 minutes.
The Rodrigo of LiveScore.
The Rodrigo of
I'm
LiveScore.
available every Tuesday and Wednesday night.
Which it went just as we don't need any more Tuesday or Wednesday night.
Sign me up for the final,
Yeah, exactly. Right, I think it might be time for us to let ourselves just try and take this in. The scenes at the Bernabeu must be absolutely ridiculous.
Amazing.
It looks like the place is going to be electric. There's going to be some party in Madrid tonight. All that's left for me to do is say thank you very much to 𝗟𝗋𝗃𝗲𝗏.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you very much to James Lorenzo.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much at home for watching. I've been Jack Collins. This has been the LiveScore Watch Along. Real Madrid will play Liverpool in Paris in the Champions League final. We'll be there then. See you soon.
And loads will be going on.